Over here. Where am I? Here anyway. Not that. Oh, look at that. New pin chat. You can now pin a message to the top of your live chat for viewers to read. Click any message to pin it. Use the options menu to unpin. Got it. Hello, 5 people. It's been a while. I do realise that. Welcome, welcome. Jump in, say hi, don't be shy. Don't forget to hit the live chat button at the top of the chat thingy instead of top chat, because YouTube keeps playing around with people. Some people can be visible, some people can't. Paul, hey, hey. Just let me cross all my T's and dot me eyeballs. Okay, I think I'm done. Paul, can I have some feedback from you, mate? Am I coming through okay, as in audio? One, two, three, check, check, check. Oh, cool, cool. Why didn't that show up over there? Damn it. See, I was sitting on the dashboard waiting for you to reply and nothing's showing there, and yet when I went over to YouTube, your response is there in chat. Fuck. Hey, Frida C. Hey, PDF. Like I said, it's been a while, so just give me a. Oh, okay, there it goes. Now it's clocking off. Maybe I should have oiled it a little bit before I started. What do you reckon? Behind the scenes, hey, hey. Big E, how you doing? Where am I? I'm going to drop a link in chat. But before I do, for all newcomers, I do like to remind everybody, in here, we don't have drama. We do not talk about other channels. We do not talk about other channel owners. It's not a drama channel. I think we have a lot more going on around us that deserves our attention, more than he said, she said. So let me drop this into chat. And if you want to come up, you're welcome to. Paste. Hey, Lion, Suzanne. If I missed anybody. I'm going to drop that there. Okay. I better go back over here, otherwise I won't see if anybody wants to jump up. And yeah, just before we continue, like I said, we don't talk about that kind of shit here. It's not a drama channel. As far as I'm concerned, if I have to get down to that point, then I might as well just leave YouTube. But that's just me. I think the world is in a whole heap of fucking hurt right now, as you all know, and I hope that everybody's been following all this COVID bullshit. People need to start calling it the flu, like I've said before. Sadly, it doesn't matter where you look, like I try and check the news daily. Sadly, every time I look, all I'm getting is flu this, flu that, flu this, flu that, vaccine trials coming, The US, as far as I know, is getting the vaccines at the end or before the end of this year. That's it of what is out there in the media at the moment. So they're definitely pushing their narrative. You can't think about anything else bar that. Oh shit. I'm sorry, Grey Dude. It didn't go ping. It should have gone ping, right?
Ping.
Damn
There.
it. Well, that's too late, isn't it?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, good. Ping. There. Hi, guys. Hi, ladies and gentlemen.
Like you soon, like a no. Like us one, lick us one. Hey, that's how you doing? Yeah. Too much fucking drama, free to see. Too much drama all over the place. And it just, I think everybody's just gone friggin' nuts from the flu. You know, it crawled up their ass, in their nose, fucking wherever it could crawl, and everybody's just lost the plot. Paul, exactly. And yeah, this, like I said, I don't take kindly to that kind of stuff here. If anybody wants to test me out, test me out. I don't time people out. I block you. I block you from your channel because I'd like to think when I go to other people's channels, I respect their rules. And if I can't, I'll walk away. So I expect the same from people here. So on that note, Grey Dude, how you doing?
Oh, I just got done eating sweet and sour chicken for the evening meal. I packed it in. I'm feeling a little on the heavy side, feeling like a glutton. But I'm doing all right, Perth. How about yourself? I miss you, man. I miss you. I don't remember the last time you did a live, but I think I missed that one. So
It's been a while. It's been a
yeah,
while. I had a lot of paperwork and a lot of drama that I needed to sort out. And you know what it's like when you do paperwork. By the time you're done uploading, downloading, sending, filling, it's like you just don't want to know shit anymore after that. You know what I mean? So, and I just didn't want to overload my brain. It's overloaded enough with the things that I've had to do, and I still haven't finished. But I thought, Jesus, I've got to get out there and do something. Otherwise, I might as well just turn the channel off, you know?
yeah.
And plus, too, you know, with Christmas coming, I think people need to really, really more than ever evaluate this time of the year. With everything that's gone on in 2020, the amount of elderly that have died for nothing, where people haven't been able to see them to say goodbye, they haven't been able to bury them properly because of all the bullshit, because of all the lies.
Yeah.
I think people seriously need to reevaluate where your elderly are. Take some time out with a mate, go to an aged care facility, go anywhere, wherever, and just fucking let people know that there's somebody there that you do give a flying fuck, you know? Because once they bring that vaccine out, I tell you what, if we think that this so-called death number that they're putting out is high, people are going to be dropping like flies, you know? DMC, hey, spot check. Hey, friends in code. But yeah, I've been looking and mostly I've been researching about smallpox. And especially since I heard Biden come out and talk about Dark Winter, that military exercise. And that had the supposed exercise had smallpox involved in it. And then on top of that, the TV series that I was binge watching, when they showed this particular virus, when they zoomed into the hospital scene, one of the patients in there looked like they had smallpox. So I kind of went and sort of looked here, there, and everywhere about smallpox. And I came across a very, very interesting thing, and it just kind of struck me a bit funny, and I laughed when I saw it. I thought, you've got to be shitting me, right? I was doing research about smallpox and yada yada, and oh, hang on a minute. I won't put the link at the top. Hang on, let me just dump the link again. Where am I? You've got to remind me of these things, Gray, please. You know,
Well, I was
I
kind
forget.
of, I was shooting for an exclusive here, but I guess not. Come on in, join in, come on, let's all have some fun.
Oh, that's too funny.
I
That's too
know.
funny.
I was trying.
Oh, listen, you can only but try, right? Anyway, on my research or on my journey of reading shit that is of so no interest half the time, I come across this. Now, let me share screen. I come across this and I had to laugh because that's my country there. You know what I mean? That's my country. I mean, I have on my arm the scar that comes from getting those injections and whatever. That was given to me, well, shit, well, obviously close on being a baby, I guess. I couldn't tell you when. 1972 outbreak of smallpox in Yugoslavia. But what I want you to look at is pretty much as I go down on this, you'll see what's going on around us at the moment. You'll see what happened in Victoria. And I'm kind of wondering, because Gates did say that if the first one didn't get you, that the second one will, right? 72 outbreak of smallpox in Yugoslavia was the last major outbreak of smallpox in Europe. Was centered in Kosovo, which also got me a bit odd because that was the kind of the center part of the war over there. Centered in Kosovo, Belgrade, Serbia, and Montenegro, both then part of Yugoslavia. Muslim pilgrim had contracted the smallpox virus in the Middle East. Upon returning to his home in Kosovo, started the epidemic. 175 people were infected, 35 of whom died. The epidemic was efficiently and ruthlessly contained by enforced quarantine and mass vaccination. The 1982 film Variola Vera is based on the event. Well, I went to check that movie out just to kind of, I don't know, get a visual on it. But because it's so old, it was a bit hard to kind of watch, and you know, there's certain parts that I didn't get. But anyway, by 1972, vaccination for smallpox had long been widely available, and the disease was considered to be eradicated in Europe. Population of Yugoslavia had been regularly vaccinated against smallpox for 50 years. The last case was reported in 1930. This was the major cause for the initial slow reaction by doctors who did not promptly recognize the symptoms of the disease. Then it goes to explain about the guy that actually caught it. He returned home on February 15. Following the morning, he felt achy and tired, yada, yada. By March 3rd, Latif Musa, 30-year-old school teacher, obviously they pretty much took him to the hospital, yada, yada, in Čačak, 150 kilometers to the north in Serbia. The doctors there could not help him, so he was transferred by ambulance to the central hospital in Belgrade, yada, yada. Let's go on down to here. The cause of death was listed as reaction to penicillin. In fact, he had contracted blackpox, a highly contagious form of smallpox. Now, I'd never heard of friggin' blackpox before, so that was interesting to come up with, right? Medical authorities realized that he had died from smallpox. The government's reaction was swift. Martial law was declared. Measures included blockades of villages, neighbourhoods, roadblocks, prohibition of public meetings, closure of borders, prohibition of all non-essential travel. Hotels were requisitioned for quarantines in which 10,000 people who may have been in contact with the virus were held under guard by the army. The authorities undertook a massive revaccination of the population, helped by the World Health Organization, of course. Donald Henderson, the world's foremost authority on smallpox, was flown in to help the effort. Within 2 weeks, now listen to this, within 2 weeks, almost the entire population had been revaccinated. By mid-May, the spread of the disease was stopped and the country returned to normal life. During the epidemic, 175 people contracted smallpox, 35 of them died. Yugoslav government received international praise, yada yada, on how they did it. 2 months of martial law. The fear and the helplessness during the epidemic left a lasting mark on an entire generation. Another more tangible mark was left in the shape of a small scar on millions of arms left by the vaccination. In 1982, Serbian director Goran Markovic made the film Variola Vera about a hospital under quarantine during the epidemic. In 2002, BBC screened a television drama called Smallpox 2002, which was partly inspired by the events. And then it gives you a timeline down here, how quick it was so-called busted, okay? Basically, diagnosed, the country was shut down, forced vaccinations everywhere, and that's the end of that. And Bob's your fucking uncle, okay? So I'm kind of looking at that and I'm thinking to myself, that sounds like fucking Victoria. We're getting to the point when these vaccinations come out. Is that what they're going to do? Are they going to pull the army onto the streets when they see that people won't take the vaccination? Who the fuck knows? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's all guesswork, and I'm not saying that it's going to be smallpox, but I keep going back to what Bill Gates said about if the first wave doesn't get you, the second one will. Is it going to be the same? I don't know. There's 2 countries already. I think one of them is either North or South Korea and another country that are saying that they've got bird flu. And this is recent. This is not months back. Bird flu. I mean, we've already seen they've slaughtered cattle, they've slaughtered pigs, they've slaughtered chickens. I think somewhere in Europe, I don't know whether it was Denmark or Finland or where, they slaughtered, I don't know how many millions of are they minks? Are they called minks? They look like little otters. They look like what do you call it? Not a guinea pig. What's the other one? It looks like a elongated fucking mouse. I can't remember the bloody name of it now. But like, and here they've got ducks. We had turkeys in the eastern states that were supposedly slaughtered because they found COVID in them. I mean, is the second wave or whatever fucking wave? I mean, I can't seem to keep up with the waves because UK supposedly is on its 3rd wave. I mean, like, how many waves does this fucking shit have? I mean, at what point do people get to any point where they go, well, this is just fucking total bullshit? I mean, there can only be one wave if it's one fucking disease. Like what? Do you know what I mean? Like, how do they know? I've said it before. We seem to have a lot of prophets on this planet all of a sudden. I just don't get it. But I thought that thing about smallpox in Yugoslavia was very interesting because of the way it was done. It was bang, martial law immediately. You know what I mean? Military on the streets, everybody vaccinated, whether you like it or fucking not. End of story. I mean, is that going to be where we end up? What do you think, Gray?
I think that's what they're going to try.
Sorry, I can barely hear you.
I think that's what they're going to try and more.
Oh, listen, they're going to come. To me, when I read about all of these Operation this and Operation that, it's unbelievable that the truth is all sitting there. You know what I mean? Where I'm reading it and I'm going, I shouldn't be reading this because I'm actually living this. Do you know what I mean? We're living this. And yet I'm reading that it's an exercise. Well, to somebody, it's an exercise. To us, it's fucking not, because this is our reality. I mean, not only that, look at the blackmail. I mean, the videos that I did about the barcode thing, right? They're going to blackmail, right, businesses. And this is where, if you're looking at different levels in society, you know, the upper class, middle class, lower class, all right? There won't be a fucking middle class. Because, like, you're telling businesses now here, by a certain date, they have to have that machine. If you didn't see my video, go check it. It's the one on the barcode. They have to have that at the front of their shops. If you don't have that on your phone, which is tracking tracing, okay, which I've been screaming about since day one, this has got nothing to do with the flu. This is all tracking tracing. But the fact that they're blackmailing businesses, that they have to have that. Now, then it comes to, if the business does that, the business is then helping them push their agenda, because now the business is saying to the normal Joe, you want to come into my business and eat, you've got to download that. And you can forget your phone at home, but that doesn't count you out, because then if you don't have a phone with you, you then still have to give us your name, your address, your phone number, you know, your blood sample, your fucking urine sample, whatever the fuck. To me, that is blackmail. Can people not see that they're being blackmailed all over the fucking place? This is blackmail. That somebody would be able to stop you from going in to either get, I mean, it hasn't hit the supermarkets here yet, but that will come. And this is what I was saying on somebody else's chat the other day, or on somebody else's panel. Isn't that against, is it the Geneva Convention? Isn't that against human rights or whatever, to deny people food and water? But see, their thing is going to be, well, we've opened the shops. We're not denying you shit. They just won't mention the fact that then we're blackmailing you. If you want to go into those shops, this is what you're going to need. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it to hospitals too. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it to places like dentists and whatever. You want medical? Scan your phone, bitch. Let us track and trace your ass.
Yeah, I saw that.
Go on, Gray.
I was going to say, I saw your video on that. Was that about, that was over a week ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, about that. That.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't get. I keep, you know, it gets to the point where you start sounding like a broken record, you know, and I look at that too, and I'm trying to bring people different stuff. You know what I mean? I'm trying to look for something away from all of this. But no matter what I look for, it keeps coming back to the same thing. I mean, our heads are getting pushed further and further into the shit. You know what I mean? So I look at what point are people going to see this? At what point do people put all the differences aside and come together and go, fuck you? Oh, you're kidding me, free to see. 1,500 incentive to take the vax floating in Congress. See what I mean? They're going to go for the people that are money hungry. They're going to go for that want a quick fix. But even that, you know, like I said, look here. Oh, you don't have to. We're not going to force you to download the app. We're not going to force you. When it first came out, and when the government saw that people were starting to complain and go, well, stick your app up your ass, well, now we're going to fuck you up right where it hurts. We're going to open the business, but if the business owner don't follow rules, well, last I heard, I think it was a $250,000 fine or a $50,000 fine, or was that for the person that went in there and didn't do it, or that didn't put? I don't. Anyway, I know that the max was $250,000. So if you didn't lose your business on the first round, you're definitely going to lose it on the second if you don't then help them blackmail the normal standard Joe on the street. Your business is gone. And there goes your middle class. It's sad. It's sad to watch. You know, I watch a lot of YouTube stuff. I watch a lot of YouTube chats and whatever. And it's like people just, it's too hard. People just don't want to know, and that is sad. That is sad. It is extremely motherfucking sad that people just don't want to know. I mean, where is that oomph? Where is that I don't know. The best way to put it is fucking where are your balls, for fuck's sake? I mean, shit. People have lost doctors. Um, you know, people that study viruses, they've lost their livelihoods. They've been made to look like total fuckwits, lying fuckwits. They've lost their whole lives just so that they can come out and tell people the truth. But people, on the other hand, don't want to fucking move their asses to go, well, I don't fucking care what you believe in what you want, but at the moment, we're all in deep shit. So let's forget what you believe in and what I want to believe in, and let's get together and just simply fucking stand up and say no. Not going to do it. That's it.
The truth is under attack.
Oh, listen, I don't know what country it was, whether it was Vietnam, whether it was somewhere else. I also came across that. Apparently, they're now going online. They're going online and they're locking up activists, people that say anything that they think is not good. They're literally locking them up. And that was a story from this morning. That was not from, 6 months ago or whatever the case.
And that's, here and there, but that's what's been happening to truthsayers. You got Julian Assange. My mind's drawing a blank, but that kind of type, truth is being under attack, and so are the truthsayers. And it's going to get worse. They're going to be demonized. We're going to be looked as criminals, looked at as criminals and misfits and
Nut jobs.
Fill in the blank,
Yeah, nut jobs, crazies. in need of mental mental health.
There you
Uh,
go. No, yep, exactly. You got the right idea. Yep, exactly. Truth is under attack right now, big time.
Listen,
And
I'm
who
open, people. You guys should know I'm open-minded. I
and
always
who
say to everybody, only take what resonates.
there?
Doesn't
Hey,
matter whether I'm
look
sorry,
who
Greg,
just look who just came in.
who came in. Oh, listen, my StreamYard dashboard keeps getting. Oh my God, it's him.
How's it going, eh?
True Patriot. Hello, hello. Guys,
Well,
I've missed out on reading some of the. Hang on a minute, just let me catch up.
sure.
Carl Hay, they can't reason for me to understand. Not one sheep one I can explain. Hi, all in chat. Everything is subverted. Rights now being denied and mandatory. But in our stores, more and more people are not wearing the masks. I've already been attacked for not wearing a mask outside. The hysteria is making people. Steely Dare, abso-fucking-lutely. People are going nuts. And the sad thing is that they're not turning on the government, okay? They're not turning on their governments. It doesn't matter where you live, okay? It matters fucking not on this earth where you live. We're all in the same shit, okay? We're all in the same shit. People aren't turning against the ones that enforced that. They're turning on each other. Always have been conspiracy theorist. Exactly, exactly. And I was saying the other day, there's this lady that I know that visits my sister, and they had gone. Her and her partner had gone to families for tea, right? And they started talking about different things going on in the world, whatever. It got to a point where there was nearly a fist fight, okay, over who believes what about the flu, over who believes what about Trump and Biden. Can you see the shit that is happening in fucking families? It got that bad that they literally, her and her partner, she got her partner up and said, that's it, we're leaving, that they actually fucking left. They left and now they don't converse. Hey, partly. They left and they don't converse. This is happening in families. This is what they fucking want,
Yep,
people.
exactly.
Put it all aside. My father used to tell me when our parents used to tell us stories about the war that they went through. And he would say, when it comes to something like that, brother will turn against brother. Brother will turn against brother. It's just another fucking thing to divide families over. And I keep saying politics, religion, whatever it is, people need to be able to sit down and talk about it at an adult level where there is no fucking arguments and just simply come to the realization that these things are created for the useless eater to fucking stay in the fucking hate and divides like game. Stop doing it. Just simply fucking stop doing it. Make a conscious choice today. Okay, I don't care what you want to believe in. If you want to believe that fairies are outside in your tree, fucking good luck to you. If it makes your day and it makes you happy, that's fucking awesome. But right now, your head and my head are getting pushed down into the shit. And we need to work together on that. And I've even seen it, like on social media platforms. The drama that's going on everywhere over what? Over nothing, over useless fucking bullshit words. People can run their channels the way that they want. They can do whatever it is that they want, okay? But what I'm saying is, for every day that goes by that you waste on that kind of stuff, we're deeper and deeper in shit. Obviously, the drama channels get more clicks and views. The ones that aren't drama channels are gonna get way less. But that shouldn't fucking stop us from continuing to push the fact that people need to fucking unite. You won't get your channel shut down from saying to people, stop the crap and fucking unite. Find a common goal. Sorry, I went on a rant.
Oh, it was awesome. Freedom is pretty important to me, and you know, it's what I was thinking earlier is you know, staying with the alien theme. It's like the Borg, man. It's like the Borg. Borg is bad. They want to control everything. You know, it's you must join the Borg. You know, I don't know if you're a Trekkie or not, Perth, but either am I. But it parallels. It's a Borg. I don't know if any Trekkies out there probably could explain what the Borg is better than me. But it's a collective, is what it is. And that's what's going on. The New World Order is the Borg, you know, in Star Trek.
The thing is too is like True Patriot mentioned the internet, which brought back to mind of what I was thinking yesterday. And I even put it in somebody's chat, and people just, you know, they just don't respond to this because they don't want to know. Whether they don't want to know or they don't see it happening or they don't think it's going to happen, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? It'll get to the point where the internet will be taken away from people because all they have to do is put you in a position where you don't have a lot of money. When you don't have a lot of money and you're fighting to either stay in your residence or whatever, you're going to have to pick. You either pay rent or you pay to have that internet connection. So they're going to weed out people in that sense too. You know what I mean? Hey, how you doing? I'm getting a bit of feedback from you, buddy.
Nah, I can't. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm around fucking 100 different devices, so that's not surprising. What's up?
It's gone now. How you doing?
I'm doing like shit, but for the time being, I am still breathing. I don't know if we would construe that as a good thing, a bad thing, or just is, but I guess I'm alive somewhat. So, I mean, all hasn't been lost yet. But the rest of the world, the rest of everything that I could say about so-called humanity seems to have already died. I mean, the very fact that we'd even have to have these types of conversations via social media.
Good God Almighty!
What?
Dale Core is in the house also. What the fuck?
That's right. Right here, where's some dope at? Where's some dope? Some guns, some illegal shit to get into. First time I've been on a live stream in a while, because as many people know nowadays, I'm only allowed to use the internet on certain days of the week at certain times, and then when I do use it, I'm only allowed to interact with certain people for certain amounts of time for certain reasons. And anyway, the rest of the time, all I can do is just sit back and twiddle my fucking thumbs till somebody decides to change all that. And then, of course, it's fucking blah. What's up with everybody else?
Well, it's just a constant battle, I guess, of trying to wake people up to the fact that they're being
people are dead.
there is no freedom. Well, I'm kind of starting to fucking believe that there must be because
If
it's like
people wanted,
everybody knows it, but
well,
nobody's moving.
excuse me, Donna, but what, I mean, now you're not that much older than I am. So that being said, in your lifetime, you've never lived with any freedom. Now, granted, you might have less freedom today than you had 20 years ago, but from the time that you incarnated this particular episode, season, time, whatever the fuck, for the duration of the life that you've lived most recently, you've not had freedom.
No,
So what is it that people, if you take the average everyday village idiot, they're supposed to be seeking or hoping to find or trying to ascertain something that they have no inclination towards. They have no desire for freedom because that's something people are scared of what they don't know. When something is strange, when it's not something that you're used to, the typical it's the whole fight or flight mentality. And people, unfortunately, they run the whole fucking opposite direction. Not because they're pussies, not because they're weak, not because they're dumbed down, but because they have they hear people speak about freedom. They don't even have anything to base that perception on. So if you were to come up to some person and say, hey, you need to be standing up for freedom, they're going to look at you and they're going to say, so let me get this straight, woman. You mean I've got a job and I've got kids and I've got a house and I've got all of this shit. Now, let's say I agree with you and it's all a facade, but you're saying that I should give up my facade and chase after something that you say I've lost that I don't even comprehend, and people, they don't know how to take that. So what they do is they take the path of least resistance. They maintain status quo until we can get people to a position where they can even comprehend what they are losing, what they have lost, and what they stand to lose further. Then there's nowhere to go because people aren't going to stand up for what they don't comprehend. You can't say, and we keep trying to act as though we're losing freedom. We've not been free. So more so than approaching things from a position of, hey, you need to hang on to what you got. We need to, people need to acknowledge what they don't have more so than anything. You sit there. What kind of clothes are you wearing right now as you were on this live stream? What's the brand? Is there a label in that shirt or blouse that you're wearing? Is it got a label? And if so, is there a name or something or some type of a symbol on that label? Now, how do you think that you got to wear that shirt or that blouse? Is it because you chose it? You thought it was a pretty color? It matched your ensemble for the day? Or was it because that was what was available at that time that you needed that particular shirt and it coincided with what you could financially afford at that particular time? Well, what if you just decided to choose to wear nothing that particular day? Would that have been an option? Not only would that not have been an option, but if you chose to just not buy anything that day, you probably couldn't have done that either. Now, see, if you were truly free, those were both options that you could have exercised. You could have chose to wear nothing, or you could have chose to, I don't know, fucking wear something that you made yourself out of a fucking beer bottle labels. But you didn't even have those options. You didn't even perceive that you had those choices. That's where you get into this idea of what we've not had. You see, we've grown up and grown accustomed to certain patterns and certain systems, and then the very instant that they began to change, we took it as some type of a personal attack against freedom. If we ever truly had freedom, we wouldn't have even had to have worried about those things. Everything that we think that we know is been built up around a certain pre-designated system that already has been established and reestablished for at least thousands of years, if not longer. We don't even, if you ask the average person, if like here in Western culture, if you ask someone, well, okay, so you believe in God. Well, your money is a faith-based tender, and I'm sure it's probably that way in Australia and other countries. But when we use a promissory note, that's like a glorified IOU, and it says on one side of it, it says, "In God we trust." Okay, so you're placing your faith in this title that you refer to as a God. Well, what is a God exactly? And that's there it goes again, something else that we don't know. God would represent, that's the unknown, the X factor. There's so much about, we don't even know nothing about ourselves, let alone this world around us. And wars, the last at least the wars in my lifetime, what's the first thing that we do when we so-called go to war? I remember Desert Storm and Desert Shield when I was a teenager. We went into Iraq, and what's the first thing we did when we got to Iraq? Well, first off, we started setting oil rigs on fire, and the second thing we did was we went into the damn museums and started looting the place. Why would we do that? Well, that's because we cover up history, because every time that mankind gets to a point where they start regaining, relearning, and re-recognizing who and what they are, the only thing the system can do to survive is what? Get rid of their history. They're starting to figure it out. Crush us like with boots on top of our heads.
Oh, listen, I mean, no matter, like I said, where you look, I mean, I agree with you on the fact of freedom. People really don't have anything to compare it to. Therefore, they think just because they can get on the internet like we are now, and we're talking or we're saying whatever we feel, that is freedom.
No.
No, there is way more to it.
Can you explore your mind? Or is the average human person that speaks, make it easy, is any person that can either hear what I'm saying right now, that's in chat, that's on this panel, if nothing else, are you allowed to explore without being the least bit hindered the farthest reaches of your own mind, your own psyche, and your own consciousness? And the reason I ask that is because collectively, thoughts manifest things. This world is a direct result of our thought. Now, when I have a thought on an individual level, and that thought, that's why if you look, not to get all holier than thou or nothing, but that's why like most religions, which they screw you over and they pervert the truth, but most religions will tell you something about the, it even says in the Bible about the tongue being a double-edged sword, the life of, the power of life and death is in the spoken word. And what that refers to is the fact that when you have a thought, okay, and you manifest something, meaning you bring that thought, which is just a mental expression of energy, into the physical form, meaning you speak it into the world. You give it power. It becomes something new. You see, a thought when it's just in the mind, it in everybody else's world, like I'm sitting here thinking about something right now, it has no existence in your world. But the minute, like I say, I'm thinking about a shiny red car. Let's build a shiny red car. The very instant that it comes out in the physical form, now that thought has manifest from one world. It's been transferred from one realm in which it didn't exist for everyone else to someplace here in the here and now in which everything does exist. So anyway, when we are limited the way we are, we're creating a world that's just like the ancient times. Now that's why it's so easy to sell someone on this idea of if I know what where we're going and what we're doing. It's easy to make a prophecy about where we're going and what we're doing.
Especially Heath, when they use the tactic of echo chamber. You know what I mean? No matter where you look now, no matter where you go, everything that is in your face, every shop that you walk into has got signs on the front door: COVID, hand sanitizer, COVID, hand sanitizer. It's
That was the mask.
everywhere.
COVID is the mask.
Website you
COVID.
go to, it comes up, it literally pops up at the top in yellow. You know what I mean? Like, no matter where you go, it's hitting you in the fucking face.
Yeah. And the people that can do anything about the perilous, precarious spot that humanity's in right now, myself included, are being silenced and are being gotten rid of.
Absolutely.
And, it sucks because, like, right now, I'm sitting here talking to you all on a device that, did I go out and buy a phone? No. It was a situation was created in which I would possess this device. I'm looking at a device in front of me that it should work. Everything should be just fine. You know what? It don't. Why? Because I don't run nothing here. And things make sure that they keep people, places, and things like me as far fucking under the where I'm just put to you this way. I can't, if I wanted to do a stream of my own right now, it would take me 4 or 5 hours to be even remotely in a position to do so. And even once I did, my visibility would be nothing. Like, for shits and giggles, sometimes here lately, I'll come across some new person that manages to get put in my presence, and the first thing I'll ask them, "Hey, you got a phone? Let me look at my Facebook on your phone." You know why? Because it's completely different on their device than it is on mine. And to carry it a step further, surveillance, that's the least of the fucking shit that we face nowadays. What's happening now with the result of COVID is COVID is a coronal event. Just like when you got one king, he gets beat up or killed or whatever, and you got a new king that's going to take the throne. Okay, when that new king takes the throne, they have a big old party. What do we call? What's that celebration they have? What's that called? Isn't it like a coronation or something?
Something like that. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, and a coronation would be another coronal event. Okay, because a corona is a crown. So if you have an old days, and you're going into a new age, there's going to be some things that you're going to do when you get into that new age. You're going to create a new world because you're not going to live according to the ways you did in the old age. That was the old age. Now we're going into a new age. So in this new age, we got to have this new world. The old standards and ways of doing things in that old world, in that old age, wouldn't work. So we'd obviously need a new order. All right. So how would all of this?
You can clearly see that they're going after the children. You know what I mean? They're going after the kids to reprogram or not reprogram, but to indoctrinate the kids. I mean, with the fact of weather modification, all those extra fucking clouds that have been named now that never existed back in the day. When you look at the fact of, what was I going to say? What else has fucking come out now? I lost my train of thought. I heard the ping for TJ. I lost my
What?
fucking train of thought. It'll
So
come back
I
to me.
forgot. Yeah, there are more clouds. There was like
Oh,
5 when I was a kid, and now there's like 60 or something.
oh, hang on. It came back to me.
What?
Green zones. For example, on one side, you've got kids being indoctrinated with all this new shit, right? In movies,
Yeah.
it's now normal to see those fucking crisscrosses in the sky in movies, yada yada. That's the norm. But on the other side, they're still fighting against the fact of anybody that remembers how it used to be. So, under the guise of this mass flu thing that's going across the earth, let's create fucking green zones so that we can throw all the old farts, any activists, anybody that we say has the flu, we'll throw them all over there. Hopefully they'll all fucking catch something, whatever we toss in there, they'll catch it and die from it, which then makes their life easier over this side to indoctrinate all the young kids. I mean, I read one article where it says we're going to close the bars, but we'll leave the schools open. Like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so much of this. It's like, oh, you know, it's the children, it's all about the children. But then when you look at the other end of it, you've got all the aged care homes, all those people that are dying. You know what I mean? You can clearly see that on one end, they're killing, on the other end, they're indoctrinating.
Well, and you know, and things are going to get expedited, expedited as we go further too. You know, because the fact of the matter is, whether people acknowledge they don't like to hear the dismal. They don't want to hear the cold, hard, in-your-face fucking truth. But the fact of the matter is, the system that has been being built around the average person, while they kept their fucking their nose in their damn 9-to-5 time clock fucking work for a few shekels job, the system that was being built, it's close enough to completion that it does not need most of us. And you know, so I said earlier, the corona is a mask. That's why do you think the emphasis on the whole mask to begin with? Because that is what the corona represents. The corona is the mask. And that's why, if you look at the Bill Gates, from Bill Gates, why would you choose, why would the world allow a computer guy to be in charge of a coronal mask event that covered the entire world? The same reason that he put in his fucking logo in the sigil for Microsoft, a company that wasn't even his to begin with. But that's another story for another day. But anyway, what do people think when they see Windows? Microsoft Windows. Now, if you're a computer guy, then you know it's not an operating system. It's a user interface. But not only is it a user interface, we knew it was nothing but a virus. It was ate up from the time it was first ever created. And what's the logo to indicate to the world? When they use that virus, what's the logo that represents that virus they're using? It's a window, right? How many panes are there in that window? I've covered this before. There's 4 little window panes. And what do them 4 panes represent? Them 4 panes, that's the new world that we're moving in. And that's why we got Bill Gates to run it, because it's a 4th dimension. It's another dimension being superimposed over top of this one. And most people, like right now, if you were to, and whether you look at it from a technological standpoint, or you just look at it from here, everyday average life for most of us, the machines are running shit. And if you were to say today, okay, well, we'll fix it. We will stop being so reliant on the machines. Did you know that physically we don't even have that possibility anymore?
Oh,
What
can I
happens
can I
to?
say something there, Heath? I've
Yeah.
noticed now in the biggest stores that we have here, like Kmart, Target. Before, I was always saying to people, like I still do it in the supermarkets where I still can, I will support the checkout chick, right? I never go
Yes.
through the automated machines. Okay. Now, in the bigger stores like Kmart, Target, there is no checkout chick anymore. You don't have a choice to go to a checkout chick. You
Oh
have to
shit.
go through those self-serving machines. And this is happening so slowly, and people aren't realizing this is why this whole big ass fucking election thing, was made big. The Trump, the Biden, these are all fucking
Well, he
distractions
was the Donald Trump.
so that people can't keep tabs on the smaller things that are happening around them. When you're out and about, take note of what you see this week in comparison to has it changed next week. You will see it happening around you at such a slow, sneaky, sleazy fucking pace that it'll just get to the point where things will change so much and people will go, hang on a minute, but it'll be too fucking late to do anything.
Yeah. And for a lot of us that in times past we could have done a lot more, it really is too late. I mean, because I don't know about the other people like myself worldwide. I mean, I'm not allowed to really communicate with outside world much. But I never in the entirety of my being have I ever been in the shape that I'm in now. I mean, I would venture to guess that the only reason I'm alive today is because the very instant, if I said I was going to kill myself, or if I even acted as though I was going to, if I wake up tomorrow and I'm not feeling good, and there's the idea that I'm depressed, something or someone is going to show up and divert my path. And then I say, well, I don't want nobody to show up. So instead, I'm just going to get on the computer and check my email. Well, that's only if I'm allowed to. And when I say only if I'm allowed to, what I mean is the computer might not work. Like I'm looking at a new computer on my floor right now. You see a little green light? And with high-speed dial-up, I average about 131 kilobytes a second download speeds. Yeah. And so we've got the best of the best. We've got Comcast, Xfinity, high-speed internet. We've even got cable, phone, and internet at a price of about $200 and something a month. Now, for 3 years now, my mother's paid this bill. I won't pay it. I won't have nothing to do with it. For starters, the phone aspect of it never worked. But the other day, I'm sitting there watching TV, and all of a sudden, the phone starts ringing, and a damn thing pops up on the screen, and it's like a caller ID. And I said to her, well, I thought that don't work or whatever. Well, it doesn't. It doesn't. Well, it does for some people. I've had like 100 and something devices logged on to my internet in the last couple months. And there is no recourse. There's nothing shy of you get bottled. It's like what I would describe it as being bottlenecked. Meaning it doesn't matter what you think you're going to do, what you want to do, or what you have the availability or the necessities to do. There is things that work around us all the time that usually we don't see them. We don't see it.
Do you know though, Heath, now that you're saying that, brings back again, the amount of channels that I've watched of people that for years have been saying targeted individuals, right?
Yep. That's me.
I mean, I know for a fact, in my life, okay, in my life, my everyday living, and hence is another reason why I haven't been putting up so many videos and I haven't live streamed, because to me it's almost as if, and the other day, my daughter asked me something and she says, "Oh, no, that doesn't work." She goes, "You know, we always do da da da." And I stopped. I went to say something to her and I stopped myself. And she's looking at me and I just like, I shook my head from side to side as in I don't want to discuss it. Because when I was saying things, when I was discussing, which I thought was private, okay, not at my house, at somebody else's house, or I'm out shopping and I'm talking to
They're
them.
always watching.
It's not so much the watching, it's the listening, because I've literally proven it to myself. The less I say, my life starts to move to the better. If I come back out and start talking about shit, all of a sudden something happens and it takes me back to square one. So I didn't want to say anything to her and she understood, okay? And she just kind of went, "It's okay." But even if you can't have a conversation with your own fucking kids, and now I know what my neighbor from Vietnam said to me many moons ago. He said to me, if you ever have a very important message to pass on to your children, he said, never say it. They can hear you. He said, write it on a piece of paper. They can't read, but they can hear you.
They've got remote viewers. They do have utilized remote viewing.
My biggest fuck up back then was that I wasn't awake at that time to all of this. For me to ask him, what do you mean? You know what I mean? But it's obvious to me now. It's obvious to me now that it doesn't matter where we say shit. It's fucking hurt.
Yeah. And, you know, I thought that maybe that...
Hey, T.
I thought I actually was naive and gullible. I thought that if I just stayed my ground and that as I got closer to leaving this world, I thought that things would, you know, eventually things would change, or that people would, you know, maybe somebody not come and rescue me, because I didn't really ever think that anything like that would happen. But the closer you get to one direction or the other, the stronger the pull. I'm not going to say gravitational pull, because gravity don't even fucking exist. But the closer you get to what one end or the other of the spectrum of life that we are on, things from that end pull you. It's rough. It's you know, it's hard to know what I can say, because even talking right now, I don't know what the repercussions are gonna be, because I managed to go online and talk. But then again, it's weird, because sometimes now I start to look for stuff, and the phone, normally I don't even give a fuck when the damn phone rings or when the phone goes off, but nowadays I have to pay attention. And if I'm sitting here closed off, locked away from the world, just trying to stay in a drug induced oblivion, just to keep fucking things out of my mind, out of my fucking personal space, and all of a sudden a device goes off, I have to look at it. And I looked at it, and all of a sudden, you know, normally I don't even get I've had my notification bell ticked on you for years. I don't ever get I never get a notification. I don't get a notification if you upload a video. I don't get a notification if you're live. I don't get a notification if you like one of my videos, if you comment on video. But now I'm just sitting here thinking, okay, It's snowing. I'm going to have to walk 10 fucking miles in the snow and shit tonight. Oh, well, who gives a fuck? And all of a sudden, ding. Oh, the device made a noise. What's going on? I look down. Shit. Damn, Perth Observer's live. Oh, hell. And this phone that had a dead battery, now it's had a dead battery, but now in the time that I've been on your stream here, it ain't been long, but in the time I've been on your stream, the battery life hasn't went down any. Makes me want to get out a guitar and fucking play some music. That's something else. At least it's given me an opportunity to devote more time to my music. Anyway.
Hang on a minute, Heath. See how you doing, mate?
How you doing? Trying to say hi, but all right. Well, I got a couple questions for Mr. True P over here. For one, you said there's like 20 people getting on your internet. Why don't you try a password? For two, you saying that people are, draining your battery and never giving you notifications to join the club. And for three, you're gonna play music right now.
Hey, password. Let me put it to you like this: my internet situation is so bad that Xfinity now sends me weekly notifications as to how many people connect and disconnect from my network. They sent a total of 3 technicians out to my house. The third technician had to put me on the phone with their supervisor in their tech support department, and they had us sign a waiver stating that they were not responsible for any financial or otherwise problems that we incurred as a result of my network getting hacked into. They could not. Their best suggestion to me was that I should keep Comcast service, which that's my only option because Xfinity runs a monopoly, but that they were not able to secure my network. What happened was they sent some girl to my house, and she allowed for what I presume to be a DNS hack that was done. And because had all my passwords at that time, including my Xfinity password.
Well,
so like say for instance, if I try to change a password, if you try to change a password, right, it's going to ask you for a recovery email. Okay. Well, they've already got all that. So if every time
the recovery email, get rid of the service completely, wait a week, and then get a new service from the same company or some other company. Pay in full, do all that, and kiss their butt. Don't let anybody in their house know. All right?
I wish it were that easy. If it were that easy, I would have already done that. But it's kind of rough. It's kind of rough. Like even my bank account right now, I don't even have a way to access my money. Excuse me. I can take my fucking debit card and I can go to a store and I can buy stuff, but I don't have a PIN number. And every time I try to order a PIN number, let me see. My card gets to me. It's already been activated. A PIN number's already picked out. And, and what's worse, isn't that I go through the shit. It's that they flaunt it in my fucking face. Like the other night.
Part of that is probably, I would say paranoia. You know what I mean? Part of it. I went through a lot of, paranoid activities in the past, and it seems like that's part of it. I would take it one step at a time. If I were you, and I would take it one step at a time. First, deal with your bank. It sounds like an important thing, right? So you would deal with your bank first, and then you would go and deal with the internet and shut off your internet service for a week. You still got a cell phone. You can still get online.
We don't,
And
cell phones don't pick up in my area.
well, then move.
Yeah.
The
So
heck
if
you
I were
do
to
in an
move,
area that
if
cell
I were to
phones can't
move, I would
pick
have to
up?
be able to get. I'm
Or
about
change your
20
service.
miles from the closest town. So if I were to try to take off and walk that 20 miles, I'm sure that something would happen along that journey that would take to get there.
Can I just
Well,
interrupt
yeah,
you? Can I
yeah,
just
go
interrupt
ahead.
you for a second? I mean, I hear, T, what you were saying to Heath, right? I've changed since 2010. I've changed different servers, right? I've gone from one company to the next, to the next, to the next. And the one thing that I did find was a technician, level 4 techie. They don't get higher than that, okay? If you still got a problem, the level techie actually takes that problem. If he can't solve it, he goes back, and a meeting is actually held between the techies to try and find a fix for the problem. When I was having dramas, and I still am, I just don't complain about it so much anymore. He turned around and he said to me, because I asked him, I said, listen, if somebody was controlling my internet, would you know, being that I am connected to your company, would you know? Are they holding that back from me? And he said, no. He goes, we wouldn't know. Now, I was left without internet. I was not with any company. And yet for 7 months, I had an internet connection. No bills, okay? No fucking provider anywhere. For 7 months, I had an internet connection. How the fuck is that possible?
Yeah, it depends on what were you running? That's a good question, right? I mean, there's
Well, it doesn't
people,
matter. It's
you
just
could
my
be
normal.
on somebody's Wi-Fi, or
No, I'm never with Wi-Fi.
you could
I'm
have
always
like a tip
Wi-Fi.
phone. Go ahead.
I'm not with Wi-Fi. I'm always hardwired, because it's harder to get into if you're hardwired than if you're Wi-Fi. I make sure that is my first priority, that all of that shit is turned off, and every so often I will go back and check to make sure that it's turned off. And even if but just not having a company, not being hooked up to any company for the internet, yet for 7 months, I did not receive a bill from anybody because I couldn't. I wasn't hooked up to anybody. And yet my internet was running smoothly from morning till night. So it matters. It doesn't matter. I mean, I know where Heath is coming from, simply because, and I've said it to people before, you can think that by some of the things that I say or the things that I do, hang on a sec, Heath, or some of the things that I do in my own home, you can class that as being paranoid, right? And to some people it will come across that way. But to me, because I've had to watch and keep an eye on this stuff for so long, you get to see what is normal and when it's not.
Yeah.
It's like a dummy in a desert, and you go, hang on a fucking minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or the things that how many people know what it's like to walk outside their door? And as crazy as this sounds, what if I told you that, things in the sky that I could show you, you would say, yeah, I see that. It's definitely moving. It's not a star. Well, the same type of whatever those are follow us. And people don't know what that's like. I had somebody say, it's a drone. Okay, all right, it's a drone. All right, well, here's a still photo of one. You still think it's a drone? And if it is, in fact, a drone in my area, I'm in close proximity to Oak Ridge National Laboratory. And I know that the law is that because of the buffer zone for Oak Ridge National Laboratory, that if you're going to fly your device at night, depending on the size of it, you have to register a flight plan with the FFA. And that is public record. What I'm telling you is that if, let's say that my local state police or sheriff's department thought that I was a big time drug dealer and they were investigating me, and part of the way they investigated me was they had these big fancy drones flying around above my house late at night. Because of the proximity that I live to Oak Ridge National Laboratory, they would have to register a flight plan. But that's only if they were drones, which if you look at a still photo of these, whatever the hell they are, they're not drones. You know, there's that stuff that follows us around. And, or I'll sit there and I'll go, like that, the phone number, area code 865-253-4178. Now, I still have a video because I took a video with a cell phone that does not work, does not have service to, so nobody can get it. But I took a video when that call came through on the TV on the car ID. I took a video. I took a video of the phone. You can see that number clearly called my residence, and I can prove that. But if you were to call Comcast right now and ask them if that was possible, they'd say no. But yet I went through it. My mother has paid a bill for almost 2 years for a Comcast cable phone. And if I show you my modem, matter of fact, my modem, I even show you my modem. My modem,
Right.
You'll notice that there's not even a phone hooked into it. There's not even a phone hooked into it.
All right. You know how many times I've gotten phone calls, okay, and then you call them back and that number doesn't exist. Okay. It's
No,
not
this
an
does
abnormal
exist.
thing.
I mean, generally, you know, I am forever the skeptic. I mean, I look,
Well,
that's why
it's
I
one thing to be
research.
skeptic. It's another thing to be overly skeptical. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing. I mean, look, dude, you got to look at things with an open mind too. You know, everything's.
You ever had your radiator, all your hose clamps in your car fall off, but the hoses are still attached?
No,
Have
I
you
never
ever
had that, dude.
Yeah, or you stop at a gas station to get gas, and you notice that one of your lug nuts is missing. You get to looking, and all of your lug nuts on every single wheel are loose. Or have you ever found a camera
I never had that.
in
You
the
know,
fender
that
of the
sounds
car?
like an ex-girlfriend or a hateful brother.
Yeah, I ain't had a girlfriend in 20
You know,
years.
if they wanted to get you, dude, listen. If they wanted to get you, if you were such a prime target, you would already be got, dude. Okay?
I already was. I was held
Think about
for a
that like that.
$100,000 bond for a gun charge. They picked me up. I had everything. I didn't know the state, the county, nothing. And they showed up at my house, surrounded my house, and they charged me with 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. My neighbor said I pulled a Uzi on him. They held me for a $100,000 bond. They wouldn't do any bond reductions. After a month, I walked in there and they basically told me what I was going to plead guilty to, and that's what I did. And you can Google all this stuff. I mean, you know, it would be nice if you could say that if this stuff doesn't exist and it doesn't happen, that would be great. But in the real world, it's so worse than I can even remotely talk about.
Can I just interrupt you for a second? Paul said in the chat, even when your computer or whatever is turned off or even unplugged, it has backup batteries to keep listening, observing until it dies. Well, my battery on my laptop has never been connected to my laptop since I bought it. What I do is I pull out the battery. My battery is brand spanking new. I pull the battery out and I use the plug in the wall to run my actual laptop. So unless there's another battery in it somewhere that I don't know about, that I can't find. But yeah, I've never used my battery since day one.
Yeah,
Brian,
fine.
you
I
still there?
couldn't.
Sorry, say what's happening. Ray, Go on, T.
What about it? Yeah, well, I've tried. I mean, I need to find some more little good, information persons. You know what I mean? And just do their live streams. It's really easy once you have it all organized like that. You know?
Oh, Grey dude, you leaving? Damn it, dude! You could have jumped in and said something.
Something.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. I tried muting. Hold on.
That's cool, man. I'm going to take off here. It's nice to see you running live stream. Perth. I hope to see you again soon. And take care. Y'all
No
take
drama.
care.
Thanks for coming by, yeah?
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, Wayne, how you doing? Who else have I missed in there? Hang on. My dashboard chat keeps getting stuck. I have to keep jumping over to YouTube to check and see what I've missed. Yeah, I don't know, people. There's, the more and more this goes on, no matter what it's to do with, especially with this flu bullshit, people are gonna be arguing over it, and it's all about the hate and divide. They want that to keep going. And like Heath was saying earlier on, the intent that you put out, the thoughts that you have, I mean, if we're constantly hating each other for our different beliefs and different opinions or whatever, this is what goes out there. It literally spreads. The hate spreads. And there's one simple way to stop all of that is just simply start accepting that not everybody is going to be on the same fucking belief system beliefs. I mean, I always say to people, just take what resonates. You don't have to take everything that I say. I can only but talk about my experiences. Somebody else can talk about their experiences. Exactly. It's the tolerance, it's the acceptance, the understanding to say, well, wow, he went through that. And just because it might sound weird to me, for example, or it might sound unbelievable, it doesn't mean that that person has not experienced that. I mean, we all have a different path in life. We all go through different things. We all wake up on because of something different. For me, it might have been weather modification. For somebody else, it might have been something else. You know what I mean? We're all on a different path. We just need to literally go with, and that's no different. It's going back to people that are targeted individuals. I mean, they're living that. They're living that. Just because it doesn't happen to every person or you don't notice it, it doesn't mean that it's not happening, right? We just have to go with. I mean, how many times, many moons ago, I mean, shit, when I remember my parents telling us stories about the war, and just because we weren't there, just because we weren't there, does that mean that what they said to us was bullshit? I mean, they went through it, they went through that. Hence, they can talk about it and say, well, this is where I was, and this is what was going on, and this is how I felt. We never found a need to not listen to that, to turn around and go, well, hey, that might be bullshit. I mean, like my ma telling us about her and her friend, how her friend conjured up spirits and the Bible was turning. My ma would never, ever scare the fuck out of us kids by telling us something like that. Ever. So we know that that was something that she experienced. It was something that she went through, even though we hadn't gone through the same thing. You know what I mean? So we can't. We've got to stop this thing of going, it's this or it's that. I mean, earlier on when I was talking to Gray, we're talking about it'll get to a point where, especially when it comes to truth and whatever, where people will be called in saying, well, because you said that, you need mental health. Because you said something else, it might be you're I don't know, fucking paranoid, or we're always going to find something, we're always going to find something to label that person. They don't have to think like we think. You don't have to think like I think. You don't. All I can do is just put out there my opinion, okay? The way that I see it, the way that I perceive it through my eyes. You, from that, you take what resonates to you only. And hence, if I come to your channel and I sit there and I listen, okay? And I listen, all I will do, and I'm telling you now, I'm not going to take everything as gospel. I will take what resonates to me, okay? What resonates to me. I am open-minded. If somebody comes up with a different thing, I'm happy to go look into it. I mean, when I read articles, like I've said to you guys before, don't ever just read something for the hell of reading it. If there is a word in there that is a link word, okay, that you can actually click on and open up another page, open it. You never know what the fuck you're going to find. You know what I mean? You never know, because we don't all know it all. We'd all like to sit here and go, oh, well, fuck, I know everything. I mean, I usually say that to my family to piss them off, because it really does piss them off. But do you know what I mean? Like, there's just so much stuff out there that has been thrown at us over the fucking years and will continue to be thrown at us. And it's just so that you can't fucking keep up, You might know shitloads about fucking weather modification and you're really into that and it resonates to you and yada, yada, yada. Then somebody's going to come along and say something to you about, I don't know, the flu, the COVID's bullshit, and you're going to go, oh, well, no. Well, hang on it. Be open-minded. Be open-minded, okay? Read it and keep reading about it. And if somebody says something else and they come up with another word or a sentence that hits you for some odd reason, go check up on it. But for us to get together and then bash the fuck out of each other and, oh, you're a fucking dickhead and you're an idiot and you don't know shit and and what education do you have and what job do you do? Oh, come on, people. Come on. That's not tolerance. It's not understanding. It's not compassion. It's got fuck all to do with anything. You know what I mean? It's fuck all to do with anything. Some of the smartest people that I know never fucking finished school. They never finished school. So it matters not. It matters not. I mean, to me, I look at the judicial system around us. It's not designed, as far as I can see, it is not designed to help us. It was written the way that it was written to confuse the fuck out of everybody so that when you start reading it, you go, what the fuck? And that's it. You're over it. I know, and I'm telling you because that's what I do. All of this stuff is done that way to keep people from not knowing shit. It's made that way so that when you look at it or you try to understand it, it gets so overwhelming that you just give up. But if we talk to one another, and we're tolerant, we're understanding, and we're compassionate, and whatever other fucking word you can put to that, okay? We can learn from each other, okay? I know, Aussie Angel, I know. That's what I was talking about because I tried. We can learn from each other. We don't have to try and analyze their bullshit, okay? There are people out there that will read something and automatically they will know what that means. So rather than us just look at something and go, oh my God, I haven't got that just went right over my fucking head, yada, yada, yada. Let's forget that, okay? Let's forget that side of things. We don't have to stay not knowing. The only other way is to simply come together and have those people that have better knowledge about another subject, listen to them, okay? If you don't understand something, there should be tolerance where you can ask a question in chat or on panel without somebody saying, oh, shut up, you don't know shit, right? You should be able to ask the question, well, I don't understand that bit. Can you put it in layman's terms, right? Because they're thriving on the fact that we constantly argue and are divided over everything, be it sports, be it politics, be it fucking religion. There are so many fucking categories out there that people are divided over. And we need to stop. We need to stop. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you want to believe, like I said, that you've got fairies in your if I can come over and fucking see them, bonus, okay? Kudos to you. But right now, the world is in a whole heap of hurt. And we're all in that. It's not just happening in your country. It's happening in every country. Don't think you're special. You're not. They're fucking us all over. They're fucking us all over. We can't keep fucking going through life doing the same thing. We just can't. And this is what we're doing. We're so busy pointing the finger at somebody else. We're so busy. Well, if you don't do it my way, that's the fucking wrong. No. You know what I mean? I mean, there is some mega smart fucking people out there. There is people that like I said, didn't finish school, but they just have this God-given fucking knowledge about shit. We need to stop pulling each other down. You know, we need to stop pulling each other down because we're all in this. I mean, they're coming after every aspect of our lives. They're coming after the food source. If you can't see that, do some research. Do some research. And it all started with this fucking flu shit. Like I said, first it was the cattle. Cattle got COVID. Then the chooks got COVID. Then the pigs got COVID. Then the turkeys fucking got COVID. You know, the minks got fucking COVID. Now we got fucking bird flu in 2 separate countries. They're going to go and kill their ducks. Can you not see that they're coming after the food source, not just in one country, but every fucking country? Every country. And it might sound far-fetched to you, but do some research. Don't sit there and go, she's talking shit, because I've read it. I've researched it. The amount of time that I spend reading, which to me is fucking boring junk, just so I can get to a good bit that I can bring to people. I hate talking about the same shit all the time, but this is important. It's important for all of us, not just me and my family, not just me and my surroundings. This is way bigger. This is way bigger. You know, way bigger. The small businesses, by the time they're done with this flu shit, I'm telling you now, there won't be any small businesses left. When it first started here, I told you guys, my niece, business, the homeowner, the place that she was renting, she nearly got booted out of it. Where is compassion from people? Where is the fucking understanding? It's not like somebody like her decides not to pay fucking rent, okay? It's not like she's never paid it before. Everybody gets into it with all of this bullshit that's happening around us. People will be in a state where all of a sudden they had a job, now they don't. Now they've got to go in a line 2 meters apart to beg for the government for money to survive, okay? Their priorities automatically fucking change. What do you do now? Do you pay rent? Do you pay the electricity? Do you pay the water, but you don't buy food? Because now you're living here, especially, okay, on what they give you when you're unemployed, is practically below poverty line. Below poverty line. But this so-called flu thing that wasn't invented by us normal Joes or Jacks and Jills, this is what the government has bought on everybody. So find some compassion, find some understanding. If somebody all of a sudden is struggling or can't pay you rent, either because their income has gone from a fucking job down to unemployment, or has gone from you had a thriving business and then all of a sudden you've got no fucking income because you had to close your doors. Find some compassion. Don't threaten these people. Don't throw them out into the fucking streets. Do you know what I mean? It comes back to compassion. It comes back to understanding. It comes back to all fucking that. People have lost that. Nobody wants to fucking understand. You know what I mean? Nobody. It's sad to watch. It's sad to sit back and fucking watch. I mean, to me, like on a daily basis, when I turn my internet on, the first thing that I will do is check the headlines of everything that is going on in the world. Not just in Australia, but in the world. Just looking at the headlines tells me or gives me an inkling as to where we're at. And it's not a good fucking place. And we're the only ones that can change that. But we can't do it if we're going to be intolerant. We can't do it if you know you're lacking compassion or understanding. We can't do it. Cannot do it. It's never going to happen. So instead of technology progressing, which it has over the years, and humanity going fucking backwards or in a standstill position, we need to change that. We need to change that. But we ourselves are the only ones that can actually fucking do that. It starts from yourself, your individual self. It's not going to start from what you hear, what you read, whatever. It's going to start from you taking a good look at yourself and go, well, okay, maybe I wasn't understanding there, maybe this, that, and the other. Let me try and change that. Because this can get nasty, and it will get nasty real quick at some point. We need to start coming together now. We have more chance of getting through all of this if we come together. Because if we're not, it won't matter that you've stocked up on food, because your neighbour, who you might have told to fuck off because he sees berries in his trees, right? He then is not going to have food, but you do. And when shit hits the fan, he's going to come after your ass. You know? That's where your hate and division comes into it. Be accepting of other people's, whatever they want to believe. It's fine. It's fine as long as we come to being on the same fucking page when it comes to the bullshit that we're living in right now. Because without coming together, half of this planet, if not more than half of this planet, is going to die. And it won't be necessarily from a lack of food. It'll be because you got knocked off because you have food. And it's a nice dream that we have you know, to go out in the wilderness and to get off the grid and whatever. But they know where we are. They have done for years. They're just fine-tuning. They're fine-tuning their little toys. That's it, of what they're doing. Fine-tuning. And they're getting you to help them do that. Like I said, with all the business owners, why don't they all come together and go, fuck you, we're not putting that, we're not going to help you blackmail people to put an app on your phone or an app on their phone. So much for the, we're not going to force you. That now has become blackmail. The business owner, like I said, then in turn blackmails his customer. You either have to have the app on your phone or you have to hook up to it or you can't come in here. They're not doing that to us. We're doing it to fucking each other. They put something in place, like I said, a situation, a person, an event, and they let the rest of us fuck each other over. And that's what is happening. That is what is happening. Because unless people turn around and say no, listen, at the end of the day, if you're just a small business, you're going to lose your fucking business anyway. What have you got to lose? What have you got to lose? Would you rather help the assholes blackmail your customers? Do you want to help them do that? Or do you want to turn around and say, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. We do it to ourselves. We have nobody else to blame, people. We just don't. It's easy. We can turn around and point the finger at, you know, this came from there and that one did this and that one made me do that. No, no. We do it to ourselves. We have done this to ourselves. The people that lost their businesses, okay? We did that to them. The people that got pulled into saying that they had COVID because they talked to somebody or whatever, we did that to them. Because we download those fucking apps. We comply. Well, it's too fucking late. Once you've fucked somebody over, once you've fucked over somebody else's life, it's too late. Think about shit before you do it and what consequence that is going to have on the people around you. Think about it. I don't care if the neighbor puts on a fucking mask. I don't care if he tapes up his windows, because if that's how he wants to live, don't bring that shit into my fucking yard. He can live like that. But he has no right to then turn around and say that I have to do the fucking same thing. But they're literally putting these things out there and we run with it. We run with it. We can't blame them for our stupidity. We can't. Because we've done it. From downloading the apps, from putting on, okay, you put on a mask in the first, I don't know, until you started reading, until you started seeing things on the internet. You must have woken up at some point. People say, oh, you know, I need to get food for my kids. Well, what happens when the vaccine comes along? What then? I need to get food for my kids, and then there'll be the second vaccine. What again? I need to get food for my kids. At what point do you say no? At what point? They can't arrest the whole world. They can't arrest the whole world. Can you imagine? the billions of people on this earth getting pissed off. Getting pissed off. And that's what needs to happen. It needs to happen. But we do it to each other. They put you in a position where you actually help them fuck over the people that you know. Your friend might have had a business. Your friend might not have had a mobile phone. You had a mobile phone. You downloaded the app. It hooked up to somebody else's fucking phone in her business. The next thing you know, her business is shut down. Is that her fault? No, it's not. It's yours. It's yours. We do it to one another while they're having a good fucking laugh. While the Faucis and the Gates and the Trumps and the Bidens and the whatevers are all having lunch on gold-plated plates, you know, having a good old laugh. We're doing it to each other. So we can't say they, you know, they, yes, did put a person, a situation, an event, but do you have to run with it? No, you don't. No, you don't. And like Heath said earlier on, we've never had fucking freedom. And if you don't have or haven't experienced total freedom, what have you got to compare it to? Oh, you can't say that you don't have freedom because, look, you're on the internet and you're saying that now because this is all you know. You have nothing to compare this to. Except for X amount of years ago, your channel would not have been removed. That's it of how far you've got to compare it to. You know what I mean? That's it. I keep saying to people, we're in open air prisons. The fact that you look at a prison and the 4 concrete walls with the barbed wire at the top makes you think that you are free because you are on this side of the wall. But when they say, no, you can't travel unless you've got blackmail again. There's blackmail by the system all over the place. And people aren't seeing it. People aren't seeing it. Are you free? You've never been free. You've never been free. It's always been under the illusion that you're free because you can see a building over there that is called jail. And because you're on this side of the wall, you class yourself as free. It will get to the point, Ozzy, where you will need permission to breathe. Well, you already do, I'm sorry, but hang on a minute, you already do. You need an exemption from wearing a mask. So you already do, you need permission to breathe freely. God forbid you fart, because then you will be put in the same category as the cows and you're fucking up the ozone layer, so yeah, we need to cull your ass. It's getting there, people. It's getting there. It's happening around us on a daily basis. You know, like I said, they're going to throw so much shit at you so that you're focused, whether it be the fights on on, you know, like the actual wrestling, boxing fucking fights, whether it's the sports. Why do you think they can turn around and not allow anybody to go to a game? You can't be a spectator, all right? No, can't go there, but the team can play. Why do you think they do that? Why do you think they still allow the sport? So that you're entertained. You're still entertained while they go about their business. You're still entertained. Why is it that movies can still be made? What, they're all exempt from COVID? Oh, they'll throw up the odd one. Oh, so and so caught the flu. So and so caught the flu, just to kind of show that, yeah, you know, they're in it too. Well, no. Have a look. Have a look. How many movies, how many TV series, how many whatevers come out already for 2020? These people must have interacted. I mean, fuck, there's kissing in the movies and the series. They weren't wearing a mask. I guess they don't get COVID when they're making movies. It's all for your entertainment. While they put in place what they're putting in place. Well, it's come to a time where everybody has sat back for so fucking long and just allowed it all, that now it's going to be where freedom is not free. And you will have to fight for it. On every level, you will have to fight for it. I mean, if you have a look at some of the laws that have been passed while we've been sleeping, okay, while we've been sleeping, they're just not right. They're just not fucking right. It's against every fucking human right thingy that you could possibly look at. But they're still doing it. Why? Because we continue to allow it. We continue to allow it. And I think it's frustrating. It is, people. I'm not gonna sit here and fucking bullshit to you. It's frustrating. It's frustrating to watch. Because you can't look at it as just what's happening. And I've said this to you guys so many times. You can't just look at it as in what's happening on my little chunk of dirt. You have to look at the bigger picture. When you look at the bigger picture, the pieces of the puzzle will automatically just come together. They will literally slot themselves on their own, and it will show you globally what is happening. I mean, every time I put something up new that is happening here in Australia, I will always get somebody from another country say to me, oh, that's not going to happen here. Really? Because so far, I can see the same shit happening everywhere. Everywhere. Who got, Qantas CEO got pied? Yeah, I've been seeing the odd thing coming out about Qantas. So I haven't really sort of taken a lot of note, but mate, people can't. They can't. They have to watch. See, this is the thing, you know. How many times have you heard people say, get rid of your fucking TV, turn your TV off, okay? People can't. That's their entertainment. I was reading an article about domestic violence And the percentage rate that it's gone up just in Australia, and it gave the percentage rate of each state, okay? Whether it got to the point where, because of domestic violence, the person was killed or beaten up to the point of fucking being in serious condition, or just beaten up, if there is such a thing as just beaten up, or threatened to beat up, okay? Just in Australia, can you imagine the figures just on that, just on domestic violence? And this has been for 2020 only. For 2020 only. This is not any other year. The figures show how a huge fucking increase in domestic violence. You take away people's TV. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the husbands, wives, the children? They wouldn't know what to fucking do with each other. They wouldn't know what to do with each other. Because majority of households, you've got the TV in the lounge, then every bedroom, God forbid you go to sleep without a fucking TV, then every bedroom has a TV in it. The kids have their own TV. Can you imagine what would happen as far as suicide, as far as domestic violence, if people did not have the TVs? Just think about that for a second. If you've got more than one TV in your house and you watch TV, just remove that one object. And don't think about your phone. No, you can't go on your phone to watch TV, all right? Or the TV series or the movies or the game. No, 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 no. All right? That's cheating. Just remove every TV out your house and ask yourself, what would we do then? I can picture the fucking chaos. I can picture the fucking chaos. And over what? Because you got so hooked on the television that your family, your everything, your closest unit, your children, your wife, your husband, because you have forgotten how to communicate. You have forgotten how to entertain yourselves without something or somebody else entertaining you. Think about that. If the power stopped tomorrow, that would be enough. You don't even have to remove your TV from the house. But if the power just literally switched off and there's no television, you'd be killing each other. So is there a wonder that domestic violence has risen drastically? Absolutely not. Because people have forgotten to communicate. There is no understanding. You know, little Johnny's giving you the shits. Johnny, go to your fucking room and go watch TV in your fucking room. There's no tolerance. There's no understanding. There's no compassion. It's all fucking gone. It's all gone. Mommy, I want. You know, in the shops, the kids start screaming. Little Johnny decides he wants to act like he's a spoiled little fucking brat for the day, and he wants what he wants. You can't hit Johnny. You can't discipline Johnny. Why? Because you gave that power away. It all comes back to us. All comes back to us. We've lost the ability to communicate with one another. I mean, I see it. When I go to visit family, because they're all wired for sound, okay? They're all, and I laugh at them and I tell them, you're wired for sound. I show up there, I don't got shit. There's no mobile phones coming with my ass. I ain't going fucking nowhere with my ass. And you're in the middle of a conversation. Ding, ding. The phone goes off. They've got to look at it. They've got to look at it. That's an addiction. Just like I tested this out on my sister ages ago, and I said to her, because her TV is her life, and I said to her, you're addicted to that shit. She goes, no, I'm not. I said, all right. I said, let's test that out. I said, I want you to go for a week. 1 week. Do not fucking turn it on. Do not turn it on for a week. And I said, if you can't last, you are so fucking hooked. You are gone, hook, line, and sinker. She couldn't last a day. Her excuse was, what else am I going to do? What else am I going to do? Well, fuck. When I look at the fact that my parents being on a farm, they didn't have a TV. There was the farm to run. There was the chooks to feed. There was the garden to pull weeds out of. People found things. People had things to entertain themselves with. They talked. They communicated. They sat in the car and they went and visited the farmer that was 5-10 k's away from them. Human interaction. People don't know what that is anymore. They just don't. They just don't. It's like, take that away and people are just going to die. Because it'll be like, well, what do I do now? That's all gone. It's all gone. Exactly. Aussie Angel. Oh, now that you've brought that up, okay? You want a toy for your kids' Christmas that you don't have to spend, well, you'll have to spend a few dollars, not a lot. And this is in the city, okay? This is in the city. We saw this tiny little version, obviously it's for tiny little people, okay? When I say little people, I mean kids. It was like a little blow-up swimming pool, and then it had like this slide down the side where you could slide down it. And we're looking at that. And because, like I said, my family, when we get together sometimes when we're all talking and all in agreement and yada, 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 whatever, we will do the stupidest fucking shit. But we have the best fucking fun. Granted, some of us may get hurt, but that's okay because we had fun. We decided that we were going to go to Bunnings, the hardware store, and we bought the thick black plastic, okay? We bought a long roll of it. The house that I was living in at that point in time, from where the house was situated, you had to kind of go up the hill a little bit to get to the road. And we thought, that's okay. If we just put that plastic down that hill, okay, facing like going down towards my house, and we put some oil over it, and we pin it down on the sides, and we get the hose so that that's running down the plastic. We have our own big ass fucking slippery slide. And all it cost us was the plastic. The things that you can get a huge buzz out of and a huge fucking laugh. I mean, my nephew nearly broke my fly screen door on that day. It wasn't good enough for him to just launch himself on the, no, he had to go across the road, same with my kids, but because my nephew was bigger, he went further, right? He literally had to cross the road, stand in the middle of the neighbour's fucking front yard, across the road, We kept to look out for traffic, made sure no traffic was coming, and he took a run from there, threw himself on the plastic. I don't know how many military rolls he did at the end of the plastic. He came over my pot plants, across my concrete veranda, and slammed into the fucking fly screen door. It was the best fucking laugh we ever had. Sure, he was hurting. Sure, he had scrapes. And I don't know how much more he injured himself. But these are the things that people miss out on. These are the things that people miss out on. Because Christmas comes or holiday comes. What are we going to do? Oh, Mum, can I have this in this game? It's a new game out. No dramas. That'll keep Johnny quiet over fucking Christmas. Let's spend $100 and buy him a fucking game. He can sit in his room with his mates and play his fucking game. Do you know what I mean? Can you see what I'm saying, people? We only have ourselves to blame. There's nowhere left to point the finger. If we cannot come together as adults and come to the same conclusion and be on the same page that we're all fucked, right? We're all in a fucked situation, then there's no point saving any of us. Then I say push the button. Somebody fucking end this shit. End this bullshit. Because I don't want to be watching this every day. I really don't. And I better put in there that no, I don't want to knock myself off and yada, yada, yada. Okay? Just in case. But even a family is what I'm trying to say. Even a family cannot be understanding, compassionate, and tolerant towards each other. Can't. They can't. And it's obvious. You know, it's obvious in most families. Just look at it. Look at the entertainment. Look at when you come together. Is it a mobile free zone? When you come together, is it a TV free zone? Is it a computer free zone where you actually just come together in one place and just do stupid fucking shit together and have a laugh and create memories? You know, I mean, what's Johnny going to remember on Christmas Day in 2020? That he was in his room playing his brand new computer. And what were your parents doing? I haven't got a fucking clue. Who fucking cares? I had my new game. That's going to be Johnny's memory. Do you know, can you see what I'm trying to fucking say? I grew up in a farming community. I can tell you the amount of times, and I've told my followers, where I've gone just with the dogs down to the lake and slid in the mud with the dogs, had an awesome fucking day. And when we got tired and hungry, then we walked like, I don't know, fucking 2-3 Ks back home or whatever the fuck it was, back home to clean up and eat. They're the memories that you need to create. You know, like I said, the slip and slide, that's going to stay with me until I die. And every time we talk about it, we laugh. We laugh. I mean, ask yourself the last time that you literally had a good old-fashioned belly laugh to the point where you had tears fucking coming down your face from laughing so much. When was the last time? Majority of people today, like I said, it's either the TV. If it's not the TV, it's the internet. They will allow you this privilege until they decide it's time to wean you out. And then they'll bring in something where they say, oh, well, you know, we had to do this to the infrastructure of the the internet across the country, yada yada, and obviously this is going to cost money. So therefore, the providers now have to jack it up from $80 a month. They'll jack it up to $150. You, in the meantime, because of the flu and your stupidity of downloading apps so that it re-fucking connects you to every other fucker that's walking around your goddamn ass on a daily basis, you now have lost your job, and now you're on unemployment, and in the meantime the internet's gone up. You then have to decide, well, if I'm homeless, I really won't be able to fucking stick anything anywhere unless it's up my ass, so I won't be connected. Or should I pay my rent and not have the internet? At least then I've got a roof over my head. They will wean you out one way or the other. They will wean you off the internet. You won't have a choice. I'm telling you now, I'm telling you from my experience, the things that I see on a daily basis, okay? Looking at my own life. I mean, I pay $80 a month. I might be able to push that to $100, maybe $150. The 150 is right at the fucking other end of the scale, where I would have to sit down and really fucking think about it. But that would be it for me in the internet. That would be it. So there goes the internet for me. And it's going to happen to a shitload of fucking people. But do you see how they can do it? On one side, they're going to create a situation where majority are unemployed. The ones that they don't want, the ones that they class as, well, they were useful idiots before. Now they're just useless fucking eaters. Okay? Forget the fact that we're all terrorists. Just get used to that idea. But on one side, they're going to leave you either mega broke, living below the poverty line, or unemployed. Not or unemployed, but sorry, homeless. And then on the other end, they're just going to jack the prices up. How hard is it to do? I mean, think about that for a second. How hard? It's not hard at all. It's not hard at all. Listen, the only things that games teach kids is aggression. You know, again, when it comes to the games, you've got the two sides. You've got the opposition. There's the killing factor. You've got to kill this guy to be able to have this. It's all hate and divide. It's all hate and divide. It's all hate and divide, people. And we're the only ones that can stop it. Your intent, your thought pattern, the sort of person that you want to be is purely your own choice. I can't make you something that you don't want to be, and vice versa. I have to choose to want to be a better person, and not always will that choice turn out good, because the better you are, the more shit gets thrown at you. The more times you're going to have to turn a cheek. And I always say, I've run out of fucking cheeks. I've run out of cheeks. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to be a better person. I don't want to be a saint. You know what I mean? Because there's always going to be that time where you fuck up or something slips out of your mouth that shouldn't, or whatever. But I want to be a better person. I want to try and understand people. I just want to go down that path, because I can see that we've tried the other way and it's not working. We've tried over many generations, killing each other for no apparent fucking reason other than greed and power and control. We've tried that. Has that worked? No. We're still doing it. Has it changed anything? No. It hasn't changed jack shit. Because when you ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this right now? When it comes to the military and stuff, it's for somebody else's benefit. It's not for your benefit. It never has been. Nobody's fucking invading anybody. I can understand if in history it turned around and said, you know, they came at us with such and such. Well, of course you've got to defend yourself. There's nothing wrong with defending yourself. But if you're not being fucking invaded, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? I should cut everybody's hands off just in case they think that they might steal in the future. They might get that inclination that they should steal something, but I'm going to cut your hand off beforehand. What fucking sense does that make? What fucking sense does that make? You think people in other countries aren't in the same situation that we are? It don't matter how they're dressed. It doesn't matter how we're dressed. It doesn't matter what they eat compared to what we eat. I eat wog food. Am I going to hate you for eating a fucking steak? Am I going to hate you for having a hot dog, which is not part of my culture? What for? Where the fuck is that going to get me? This is where it gets us, where we are now. We're all fucked. This is where it's gotten us. We're all fucked. I mean, these are the things that should be going through people's heads right now. Not anything else. Decide on what kind of a human being you want to be. Because you may think that that choice does nothing, but it does. I mean, majority of people believe that it's energy. You know, it's all about energy. Well, if you put out good thoughts, you don't have to wish somebody well, just don't wish them fucking evil. Okay? Don't wish hate on that person. Don't push hate on that person. Just don't do anything. If you can't push good intent towards somebody, at least make the choice not to push hate in that direction. We can make a difference starting with ourselves. And once you decide that, then as adults, we should be able to come together and discuss anything, without having disagreements. It should be a normal, simple conversation around the table going, well, you know, that's great, but what about this? And yep, yeah, that could be it. Do you know what I mean? That could be it. You've got a point there. Didn't think about that before. But while we've got hate and we're constantly looking at the hate factor for every time somebody opens their mouths, you're ready to pounce on them. Oh, you're a fucking idiot. How can you say that? You're a fucking idiot. We are where we are. We're all fucking idiots. Because we allowed it. We can't blame anybody else, people. We can't. For every time you sit in front of the TV, ask yourself, remember me, and ask yourself, isn't there something better that I could be doing right now? I keep telling people, if you're joined at the hip with your mobile phone, stop taking it with you everywhere. Stop fucking each other over. Because it's sad to watch. It's sad to watch. Because you can see the pattern. Like I said, they're putting people in more of a fucked up position as far as work. Okay? As far as work. People that had jobs. Oh, you know, people don't want to go out there and work and whatever. People were out there. People were out there working. They were doing fucking jobs that they hated, but they were doing it because it was a job. Those people don't have that job anymore. Half the fucking planet was made fucking unemployed. And they didn't do it. We did it. All they did was they got their media that is paid for. They're not journalists, they're script readers. Everybody needs to self-isolate. That's it of what they did. Now ask yourself, when you heard that, what did you do? They didn't force you. They didn't shove you back through the front door. They didn't put a gun to your head. They just dropped it on the media. That was it. And the world ran with it. The useless eaters, we, the parasites, the useful idiots, the terrorists, ran with it. Can't point the finger at them. They have every right to make fun of us. They have every right to laugh at us. Because if I was at the other end of the scale, I'd be fucking laughing. I'd be laughing. I'm at this end of the fucking scale. And I can't forget it. I have to keep bringing it back up. I can't forget it. Okay? Let's everybody get out into the street, in your driveway. Don't get together with your neighbour. Fuck that. He's got to be in his driveway. And let's burn a fucking candle or whatever the fuck we're doing. Bang your fucking pots like Maimona, which is monkeys. And stand there and let's do it for so-and-so. Did anybody force you? No. Did you do it? Yes. Come on, people. Come on. I know, mate. My parents, I'm going to start from my own family. My parents thought that doctors were gods, you know. You would try and say to them, instead of taking that, here, take this, it'll work for you and it's natural, whatever. They thought they were gods. My parents thought that doctors were gods. If you heard it on TV, that was it. And those same things are what is killing people off today. Those same things. I mean, you have a look at the lists that they're putting out now of who's going to get the vaccine first. All the ones that are supposedly on the front line. Well, the military, they're always stabbing with something, okay? They're always fucking stabbing the military with something, okay? So you've got them, doctors, nurses, carers, Then they'll look at who's most vulnerable. Then they'll go for the elderly, the disabled. It's sad when you look at those fucking lists because it's all blackmail. If you don't get the vaccine, you can't work there. If you don't get the vaccine, there goes your fucking 40-year-old career down the toilet. And we just won't leave it at that. We'll just turn around and put it in the media that you're a conspiracy theorist. And yeah, fuck you. That's why we threw you out from your job. Not that we blackmailed your ass and forced you. That's blackmail on every fucking count, people. If you want to stay in a nursing home, you have to get vaxxed. Because if not, you got to get out of here. Where the fuck do you think that person's going to go? Are they left with a choice? Are they given a fucking choice? They'll take the vaccine. That's blackmail. That's medical torture. It's blackmail. If I turned around and came to your front door and said, listen, I want you to give me such and such, and if you don't, this is what I'm going to do. You're either going to beat the fuck out of me, or you're going to shoot me, or you're going to set your dog on me, or whatever. Why? Because you're going to get angry because I'm trying to blackmail you. You're being blackmailed right the fuck now. Don't put the mask on. You're going to get fined. Is that not blackmail? That's a form of blackmail. Don't have the mask. You can't enter the shop. That's a form of blackmail. And again, I bring up, somewhere in the human rights thingy, it is against the law to deprive somebody of food and water. If somebody can find that for me somewhere, I know I've fucking read it. I just can't remember where I read it. It's all blackmail. It's all conniving, contrived fucking blackmail. Oh, look, we opened up the restaurants and the bars for you. But there's always that but. And you think you've got freedom? You think you've got freedom? You don't have any. You don't have any. And yet you would be prepared to kill me. You would be prepared to kill me if I blackmailed your ass. But when the governments do it on this scale, nobody's doing anything. Nobody's doing anything. Everybody's complying. Everybody's complying. Nobody seems to give a shit that they're being blackmailed. I, for one, if I saw that people were literally dropping dead around me, do you seriously think that I am that much of a fucking asshole to not go, what the fuck? What can I do to help? Of course you would. Or you would get out of fucking Dodge so you don't catch it. Either or. But if you can see that this is nothing, but everything that is happening around you is based on blackmail, if you don't do this and if you don't do that and if you don't do this and then you have to do that and oh fuck, that's not enough. Let's come back next week and fuck them up the ass some more. Because they're loving it. They must be loving it because they keep on fucking listening. 'Cause, 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 'cause They keep on doing it. So let's just fucking push the law some more. Fuck the Constitution. Wipe your ass on that fucker. The amount of times that things have been added. Oh, like I said, I don't even want to go to the Australian one. Oh, good God. Oh, good God. And they know this. They know this. They know what they're dealing with. They know about all of us. You know, that's why they have that fucking census shit that comes out every year. Oh, you have to fill one of those out, and you can't put that you were there if you weren't there, if you were somewhere else. And when it comes down to education, to what year do you think they don't study all of this shit? Spirit, there you go. Blackmailing someone in Australia is a 10-year penalty. So why are we all putting up with being blackmailed? Because that's what it is. The minute I say to you, I will do that for you if you do such and such, it's a form of blackmail. It's a form of blackmail. Listen, I am going to breathe. I am going to hug my children. I am going to spend time with family. I am going to walk into every shop that I can that supports freedom. I will stop supporting those that don't support freedom for as long as I can. Because at some point, people, like I said, you've got to ask yourself, at what point do I say no more? And I keep asking that question all the time. At what point? Because you can say that today you're wearing a mask because you need to buy food. But what about when the vaccine comes? And then the second round of vaccine? And then the ID cards? And then you can't travel unless you have such a... Is it always going to be because that's the easiest thing to do? Because it is. It's easy to comply. It's easy to put the mask on. You won't get looked at. You won't get whatever. You won't get a fine. It's easy. Oh, fuck it. You know, I'll go and get that jab. Jesus, it's one fucking jab. It only takes a goddamn fucking minute. And it's just fucking, yeah, I don't have that drama. It's the easy way out. The easy way out. But then don't complain. Don't complain. Because for every time now that we take the easy road, there is no room for complaining anymore. Because you made that choice to do it. You had the choice. It's either a yes or a no. And it's gotten down to that, like I said, people. You have to. But if we're going to keep hating each other, you know, if I'm going to go and get the vax and go off at my neighbour because he didn't get it, you know, and that's what we're going to be going at each other for, that kind of bullshit. There's never any coming together. There's never any coming together. And even if it's not the whole world that comes together, even if it's one fucking quarter, And if that one fucking quarter stand up and go, no, you don't, at least know that you went out standing and not on your fucking knees kissing ass. Because that's what it is. I just looked at chat. Oh yeah, keep them farts going, Bouncer. They're good for you. If you don't fart, you're going to blow up, mate. Suzanne, the thing is, you're saying people are supposed to get 5 vaccines in total for it or whatever. Look at what they're doing to your children. I put a video out there. Little boy. 2 fucking nurses. They've both got needles. Both of them. One's got one leg, the other one's got the other leg. 6 jabs all up in one fucking hit. Come on, people. Can you not see that is just fucking cruel? Are you not asking yourself what the fuck is that for? You're doing it. They're getting you to do it to your own children. Just like they got my parents to help them indoctrinate me. Just like they got me and you to help them indoctrinate your children. Nobody wants their child sick. Investigate this shit. Can you imagine the devastation of a parent giving birth to a healthy child, a normal, healthy child, and then believing a government or Gates, who has no medical fucking experience, background, whatever, or the lying Faucis of the world, and then taking your child to get vaccinated, and then you start noticing that child is not the same anymore. Then all of a sudden, you've got a child that either can't walk, that is bedridden, that is wheelchair ridden, that can't do certain things, but you know that you gave birth to a perfectly healthy child. It's too late to fucking cry. Can you imagine that devastation? That for every time you look at that child, you are going to be reminded of the fuck up that you made. The fuck up that you made. Not God. Not God. Not the government. The fuck up that you made. The fucked up choice that you made. Can you imagine that devastation of having that reminder there in front of you every day as to how badly you fucked up and that you fucked up your own child's life? But people don't think about this. The word just gets around. Oh, there's something out there. You all need to be scared. Run. Run. Get in queue. 2 meters apart. Don't forget the fucking 2 meters apart. Actually, in some cases, 2 meters apart could be good, because if the guy in front farts, at least you're not right behind him, or if he hasn't showered, at least you're not in direct flow of the BO. In some cases, it could be good. See, I have a sense of humour. But I'm angry. I'm frustrated. I'm pissed off. I am just everything at everything around me. at everything around me, because this is all, it's not that people are going to die from a lack of knowledge. The knowledge is there. It's that people don't want to see it. People don't want to read it. People don't want to do anything about it. They just don't. And I don't get why not. I can't understand it. I mean, my bro is the way that he is because of an accident, okay? Because of an accident, he fell on his head. If my girls had kids and they came to me and said, Ma, should I vaccinate? Hell the fuck no. If I saw that they were going to do it, I would be extremely pissed off. Because my job as a parent is to be responsible for my children and to also help my children be responsible for their children. It all comes back to us, people. It all comes back to us. And like I said, it's too late to cry because you can't fucking reverse it. It's too late to fucking cry. Everything that we do has an effect. Every choice that we make, like I said, we're human. We can't. Some people can turn around and say, I love everybody. Well, sadly, I don't, because there's some people that just fucking piss me off. But am I going to push hate towards that person? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Am I going to wish bad things on that person? No. No. I've spoken to you guys about intent before, you know. You can do some serious fucking damage just with your intent. So you wonder why we are in the position that we're in. Look what we do on a daily basis. We're killing each other off. There's people starving. Nobody gives a shit. Oh, they can go out and get a fucking job. You know, no compassion, no tolerance, no understanding, no whatever. Is the world standing up because Africa is being used on so many occasions as a petri dish, as a fucking testing ground for fucked up vaccines that are man-made? World don't give a shit. And that world is us. Do we care that somebody just got bombed and kids are being left without arms and legs and mutated and maimed and Lord knows what? Do we care that somebody somewhere, you know, lost their fucking life for no apparent reason, just because somebody somewhere decided they wanted power, they were greedy, they wanted something that land had. Therefore, those people need to be annihilated. We are blamed for all of that. No questioning. We all need to assume responsibility of everything that's gone on in the world, of all the shit that we should have done that we never did. We need to assume responsibility in taking our own families back and making it a family unity, okay? Like it used to be. We are responsible for what our kids do. They are our children. And yet we allowed the government, well, I personally fucking didn't, but we allowed the government to assume responsibility over our kiddies because you can't smack them. Johnny's being a right little fucking prick at the supermarket, but his poor mother, well, no, she's not his poor mother because she helped do it. She gave up that responsibility as a parent. Poor Johnny's, not poor Johnny, Johnny's screaming his fucking tits off. Mum now can't give him a fucking hiding in the middle of the store. Why? Because all the fucking Kens and Karens or whatever fucking name that you guys give to them, one of them's going to report you. Whose fault is that? It's your own. It's your own. They're your kids. You had fun making them. You gave birth to them. Your responsibility. Your responsibility. You know, people talk about freedom and they say, oh, freedom of speech, freedom of speech. Just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should. It comes back to morals, ethics, tolerance, understanding. It comes back to responsibility of thinking before you say something to somebody, because you have no idea how that is going to affect them. You don't. You don't know what kind of impact that's going to have on their life. How many times have you seen kids complaining about bullying in schools and whatever, and then those kids grow up and that bullying factor stays with them the whole time? We're not exempt from that. Just because we're adults and you look at somebody else and you can see that they're an adult and you think that you can just blurt out whatever you want because it's freedom of speech, you do not at any point stop to think how that one word may or may not affect that person that you just said it to. There is a difference, people. We need to come back and look at that and go, just because I can, does that mean that I should? I'll give you an example. I only found this out probably, I don't know, a few years ago. My girls and I were having a conversation about something, yada, yada, topic went from one thing to the next. And my elder says to me, because somebody was brought up in the conversation outside the family. And I said, how come you don't talk to so-and-so? And she said, oh, no, I don't want nothing to do with them. She goes, what they used to do to me when I used to go over to their house. And I said, what are you talking about? And no, it was nothing sexual. But listen to this. And she goes, oh, every time, I used to go over there like to spend the night with Tanya or whatever her name is, fucking Jenny, Jimmy, whatever. Even though she had like a fucking double bed, queen size bed, the mother of that child never put my daughter in the bed. I mean, to me, if you're going to visit a mate or whatever, there was no big drama of the two of us fucking getting into the bed. Her head's at one end, my head's at the other end. We're kids, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? We're kids, for fuck's sake. It's what kids do when they sleep over, when they have a pajama party or whatever the fuck, okay? But this mother apparently used to put my daughter on the floor to sleep. You've got a double bed, queen size bed, okay, that your child is sleeping in on its own. You want company for your child, but that company, you don't want to put on those same sheets. See, I didn't know this. That stayed with my daughter. That stayed with my daughter all of her life. And to us, it might look as though, really, who gives a fuck? Like, get over it. Yeah, no. We don't know, people. We don't know. We don't stop to think that the things that we say could affect somebody in a negative fashion. I don't want to say something nasty to somebody and to look at, they might think, or you might think that, oh, you know, they're tough-skinned or this, that, and the other, or they don't get hurt over that kind of shit. Look, you know, there's no emotion, da-da-da-da-da. That's just a wall that people put up. That's just a wall that people put up. Some people can dismiss the shit and others cannot. Others hear it and it stays with them. We can't see on the outside how it's actually hurt that person and how deeply it's hurt that person and how long that may stay with them and where that might get them in life. Because if you've said something, somebody else has said something, the next person somewhere in that person's life says something, you're bringing each other down. You're not lifting each other up. You're bringing each other down. You don't even have to lift somebody up. And I'm not saying go to somebody and fucking talk shit to make them feel better. Okay? You don't have to go and do that. You don't have to go and do that. But at least be careful with what you say. Because like I said, we can scream freedom of speech as long as we want. But at the end of the day, just because you can doesn't mean that you should. What's that? My neighbour guy came over and asked why he keeps hearing coughing coming from my shed. I wanted to say COVID, but I replied, I'm teaching your girlfriend how to smoke. Oh, good God. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know why I even talk to you, but I think you're all fucking lost. See, the neighbour has no sense of humour. Well, maybe you shouldn't have mentioned girlfriend. So there's you know, there's a bit of fault on either side there. I mean, but yeah. I mean, I know we have to remember to laugh in all this, people. Seriously, we have to remember to laugh. And as I said to you earlier on, think about when was the last time that you had a laugh to the point where you had fucking tears coming out of your eyes, or where every time you thought of that, it just kept you laughing through the whole fucking day. It doesn't mean forget about everything else, but remind yourself to have a sense of humor. Remind yourself to listen to music, especially for those people that live on their own, for the people that get down and stuff. Just know that there is somebody out there that is suffering more than you, even though you think that you're suffering and you think that you've got it bad and that things couldn't get any worse. Remember, there is worse suffering out there. So if you can't invest in anything else, at least invest in the fucking radio. And when times get hard, crank that bitch up to the point until you can't. You'll know when you hit the volume, when the right volume is there. It's when all you can hear in your head is the music and not your thoughts. That is the right volume level. But yeah. Well, I don't know, people. I don't know what else to tell you. I really don't. It's a constant battle. And really, when you stop and look at it, everybody's life. It's a constant. It has been. It's always a constant, a battle to live. Some have it harder, some have it easier, but it's a constant. Got to go to school. Got to do this. Got to do that. Got to whatever. Got to constant. Well, absolutely. Absolutely. How can people forget that people used to fucking die before the flu? You know, when somebody got hit by a truck, the guy died because he got hit by a truck. Now, get hit by a truck, you died from COVID. That bitch is everywhere. So I said the other day, people are too scared to cough. Go through any store and just listen. When you walk in, just walk around and just listen. People are too scared to fucking cough because they need to clear their throat or because they're smokers or because whatever the fuck. People are too scared to cough. God forbid somebody fucking sneeze. I think if somebody sneezed, that's it. It would be get everybody out. The shop needs to be fumigated. Everybody in fucking 2-week isolation. Just listen. Listen. Use your senses the next time you go out. Listen to see how many people cough or how many people sneeze. You can get dust up your nose and sneeze. It doesn't mean if you sneeze that you've got Lord knows what. How many times have you picked something up in a hardware store and it's got dust on it? Next thing you know, you're rubbing your nose and you want to sneeze. Not because you've got the flu, but listen. When you walk around, how many people now cough or sneeze in public? I mean, now people hear that somebody in their family is coughing and sneezing. Don't fucking come over here. I ain't going over there. You need to stay in 2 weeks isolation. You never did that before and you didn't fucking die. What the fuck? My kid's got the flu. I'll get the flu. So what? Big deal. Stop being scared of each other. And I'll repeat that. Stop being scared of each other because that's what they want. They want you to be scared of each other. They want you as an individual to look at that other person and go, you're nothing but a fucking virus, dude. I'm going to start naming people. I'm seriously going to give everybody a name and that's going to be their virus name because that's what they want. They want everybody to look at each other like you're nothing more than a fucking virus with legs. And that goes down to the fact of hate and divide. Don't come next to me, don't touch me, don't breathe in my direction. You're just a petri dish of bugs. You're one big ass bug. Oh, absolutely. I hear it. I hear it. This is going to be so fucked up for a lot of people. I'm telling you now. Whether it's just simply trying to get over the fact that when people find out that this is bullshit, but their family members died because of it, and they couldn't even go to their funeral or give them a proper burial, don't even know where their bodies ended up, that'll be a wake-up fucking point for a lot of people. But it'll be too late. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the fuckers to say that the vaccine is here, because then I am going to have to do whatever I fucking can, because I don't want my bro to get it. But I know what they'll do. They'll turn around and it's blackmail. Because I already asked the carers, did you have to get vaccinated for the flu, like a flu shot? And they said, yeah. And I said, well, didn't you have a choice? And they go, no. They said that if we wanted to work there, we had to get vaccinated. So they had to get the flu shot to keep their jobs. Like I said, blackmail. But if I did that to you, you'd kill me for that. Your government does it to you, and you're okay with it. Do you know how much still hates plans on making? Oh, you mean Gates? I was trying to read. Hang on. Do you know how much Bill Gates plans on making? He put in 10 billion. Oh yeah, he's a happy camper. He's a happy camper. He knows what he wants to do. He wants to put you out of your fucking misery. Bouncer, listen, you can say whatever, mate. You know what I mean? I don't deny the fact that something other than us is here. I've seen it in my own life. So I'm okay with you saying that. There's nothing to you know. Exactly. I mean, how many years have we had the cold, the flu? Like I said, they're coming after. They're coming after your fucking food source. I don't know how people can't see that. Since when in fucking history? I mean, if somebody does know of it, can you please make me aware of it? I don't know, comment under one of my videos or something and make me aware. I've never known of so many animals to be slaughtered needlessly as to what has happened in 2020, the end of 2019 and 2020. I've never heard of it. Oh yeah, Soylent Green. Like, oh hey, I did. Okay, I can't remember whether it was a live stream or whether I did a video under. I think it was the live stream. When people get cremated, do you stand there and watch that person get cremated? Do you know where that body goes? It's no different to when you bury somebody. It always goes back, the coffin always goes back into the funeral place and then gets put into the vehicle where now the lid is down, and that coffin, that box, you follow to the cemetery. Does anybody open the box at the cemetery right before the sand goes in? Hey, Otto. Thought it was just mince bean. Fuck no, mate. They slaughtered cattle in the US. They slaughtered cattle. Then I think it came to the pigs. Then it was the chickens. Then they attacked the fucking turkeys here in the eastern states. Then I read about the millions of minks, which was not long ago. And now in 2 Asian countries, they're saying that the ducks have got bird flu. This is animals in the thousands. And let's not forget the ones, for example, in Australia, that were starving. No fucking food, no water in the farming communities. Now it's great for them. Now it's great for them because all they got to do is say, COVID, got to knock them off. You know, got to knock them off. I read an article the other day where, for the first time, where was it? Was it Japan? Damn, I'm not going to be able to remember now. Where they made the actual first steak, genetically modified, man-made steak with no meat involved. When you go to the store and you buy things like custard powder, when you buy things like a can of baked beans, when you buy whatever you buy at the store, do you ever bring it home and check what's on the side of it? All those names that they make like that, so you haven't got a fucking clue what's in your food. People that go and buy meat, oh, that was an awesome fucking steak. Do they know that the butchers use glue to roll up leftover bits of meat? They mix it with the glue, they roll it up, they wrap it up tight, and then the following day, when that all sets, they slice it into lovely pieces of steak. Do you know that? That's a fact. It's not something I made up. It's a fact. We don't know what the fuck we're eating. We haven't a clue. We haven't a clue. The only thing for now, to a certain degree, I mean, we know it's genetically modified, but the only thing that we can really say, well, even then, I don't know, because just when I was about to say fruit, then it came to mind of the video that I did about ice cream, how they used leftover food, for example, from restaurants and Lord knows where. And this is scraps. This is other people's fucking scraps, okay, that they've left on their plate that they couldn't fucking eat. And they were turning it into ice cream. Chocolate flavoured ice cream, strawberry flavoured ice cream. And they gave some to people to try. And guess what? They loved it. They fucking loved it. Like I've said so many times, and it makes me laugh all the time. When it gets to the point, and it's gotten way past that point, where people are okay drinking, cooking, and showering in each other's piss, and shit that tells you where humanity is. That tells you where we are all at. Just that. All those meds, and I keep pushing this, all those meds that has been proven that cannot be removed from people's shit and piss in water treatment plants, wastewater treatment plants. The only thing that they can't remove is the medication. So just stop and think. Your whole suburb, shit and piss ends up in the same place. How many people that is? How many meds is each person on? What kind of meds? Cancer meds, dementia meds, contraception, you name it. And we wonder why we get sick. We wonder. And again, I say, it's not from lack of knowledge that people will suffer or die, because the knowledge is there. It's there. You've just got to look for it. No matter how stupid something sounds to you, type it in and see what information what comes up. See what you can find on it. There doesn't have to be a special word. Just ask the question of Google. It'll tell you. Yes, you're drinking other people's piss and shit. All that excess shit. For those people that don't know and don't believe me, okay, the best video that you can go watch, and this is on YouTube, and I've said this before, I'm going to put it out again. Go and watch the video. It's called You Don't Know Shit. And I think the channel name is Vice, where they actually follow the shit trucks around. They want to see. They want to see where this shit ends up. As for the rest that I've told you, you won't find that there in that video. You need to start reading up on water treatment plants, how much shit fucking comes out of it, what they put in there to get it to the point where they class it as drinkable. And then you can Google search Australian scientists discover that the only thing you can't remove from water is people's medication. But if humanity is okay, not just drinking, not just showering, but cooking in each other's piss and shit and used tampons and dead goldfish and whatever the fuck goes down the fucking toilet, then hey, we're all in a good state. Everything's fucking honky dory. It's all peachy. It's just all fucking peachy. I hope nobody was eating at that point, but hey, too fucking bad if you were. Because it's true. True, people. It's fact. water treatment plants, and countries copy this shit from one another. We've got one that's down south from me. When I say down south, probably about, I don't know, 2 hours away. Approximately 2 hours away, as in a water treatment plant, wastewater treatment. And guess who they copied that from? They copied that from the ones in California. And we're having another one, apparently. They want to put up in opposite direction. Now we're heading north. About an hour, I'd say, north of me. I don't even know if it's built. It might already be built. They want to put another one there. And they had this poll on the website. They had this poll at the bottom as to what people think. And you read these people's comments. Oh, that's absolutely great. You know, be fucking this clean water, that clean. And I'm reading through this and I'm thinking, you've got to be shitting me. You've got to be shitting me. I don't know about you guys, but the minute somebody says shit, I get scared. So I don't know. I'm at a loss. I really am. Oh, I've got to give you guys an update just to be on the lighter side of things. And I will put a video up there. But I was waiting for my potatoes. My pumpkin has actually flowered. It has actually flowered. It's got these big yellow flowers on it. And I thought, oh, look at that. Oh, so excitement. But yeah. I don't know. I guess the only thing out of today's live stream that I would like everybody to go away with, if possible, is just to remember your intent towards other people. If you don't like somebody, you don't got to like them, but don't put that hate out there. We need to start coming together. Wherever you see there is conflict, try and doused it rather than putting, petrol on the fire or adding fuel to the fire, as they say. Oh, and for those two that have heard, or not heard, I saw an article where they're saying they were also giving. See that this is all them reaching. This is all them reaching to try and get bump those figures up. I've heard here in all states where they're actually testing at the wastewater plants, they're testing people's shit. Okay, does shit have COVID? Shit's got COVID. Oh, good God. Anything to find an excuse. Anything to find an excuse to lock people down or to bump up the numbers. Shit's got COVID. And then I saw another report where now they're going at people saying that it's all dependent on your blood type as to whether you have more chance of getting it. I mean, if my memory serves me correctly, and I don't even fucking care if I'm wrong because I don't believe the bullshit. I think if you're a type A, you're fucked. if you're actually no, I think one report I saw, if you're a type A, you're fucked. But then on the other hand, it was if you're a type 0, you're fucked. I can't really. To me, like I said, either way, it doesn't matter because it's just their way of reaching. It's their way of now telling people, oh, if you have this blood type, you are royally screwed. You've got COVID for sure. You're a walking fucking virus. But yeah, the funniest thing to me was when they started testing the shit. I couldn't get over that. I thought, you've seriously got to be fucking kidding me. That you have nowhere left to go bar to the shit fucking tanks and test the shit. Oh, listen, Bouncer, that too, you know. What's that? Morrison Utility fitted sewers with tech couple of weeks into CV where yeah, I'm telling you. There's been X amount of articles. The first one that I did a video on here about them testing shit was in the eastern states from me. They were testing shit over there, and I thought, look at that. It's like somebody deliberately went from town to town, took a dump all the way up the fucking west coast, not the west coast, the east coast. And now they've moved over to the west coast. Now they're going to take a dump in every fucking town from the bottom to the top. I know, right? It's sad. It's sad, people. It's sad that we are putting up with it. It's sad that humanity is not assuming responsibility. Again, like I say, responsibility of one's own actions, responsibility of one's own children, responsibility of one's own family unit. And don't think I don't have any of this in my family. Like I said, I talk to you guys from my own experiences, and majority of the time, it is things that I see that happen around me. The ridicule, the laughing, when you just want to simply wake somebody up and go, hey, we're not in a good place, you know? We're not in a good place. Then you've got the ones that go, oh, you know, I'm going to get out of the city one day. Really? One day? What day is that? Because if they want to poison everybody off, people, whether it's through a virus, whether it's through whatever, we have given them access to our water. They have full control over the water. They have full control over the food. They have full control over the air that we breathe. One person can't do that. One person can't fight that. 10 people can't fight that. One country can't fight that. We all need to stand up everywhere. Absolutely. Absolutely. Was it Reagan that turned around and said that people will come together? Hang on, I can't remember his exact words, but it has something to do with an alien invasion where humanity will actually come together. It will have to come together to to fight off. I mean, that's why when I heard Biden mention dark winter, I thought, what the fuck? Like, he's running for presidency here, but he's bringing up a military exercise. Yeah, well, I mean, the story that I brought up about smallpox in Yugoslavia was interesting to me because in a span of days, bang, martial law, bang, you're all fucking vaccinated. You know what I mean? See, the thing is, it doesn't matter how far in front they are. What will fuck them over is when people come together and say, no more. We're just not doing it. We're not working for your ass. We're not paying for your fucking ass anymore. Do you know how many people don't even stop to think that it's their wages that pay government salaries? It's their wages that pay police salaries? How many police actually stop to think that their wages come from taxation, which is people? We're paying for our own extermination. And it's not until people unify and find that fucking common goal that we're all in this fucking shit pool together and they say no more. Nope. Not happening, Jack. Ain't going to work today. Kiddies ain't going to school anymore. They're not going to get indoctrinated. Well, Bouncer, listen, it's worked good for them up until now, I mean, fear is the biggest thing. Like I said, all they have to do is they have to drop either a person, a situation, or an event, or even a word, okay? That's it of what they have to do. They've bought out all the media. The media is on their side. Haven't you ever asked yourself, like, whether it be that you're going to court, whether it be that you're going to a department somewhere, any government department, why it is that you never get ahead? Why it is that it's not a simple case of I go there, I state my case, they can see that what I'm saying is factual, I've got documentation to prove it, da 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 da. It's always a fucking drama. Oh no, you can't do that. You can't do that. Can't do that. This flu pandemic, Event 201, call it what you will, is to get rid of the middle class. The average Joe is not allowed to have a little business anymore. God forbid he fucking thrive. Okay. And it's to pretty much get people unemployed where they are literally dependent on their governments for funds to purchase food and to purchase water if need be. It's right there. Once they have that part of you dependent, forget about the bullshit. Oh, we're going to build this and that's going to be X amount of jobs for the people and we're going to build that and that's going to create so many fucking jobs. They're lying through their asses. It was never their fucking goal to get people employed because people that are earning their own funds aren't dependent, okay? They're not dependent on the government. which I've said before. Why do you think that they hate Indigenous people? They hate Aboriginal people because they know how to live off the land. They do not need the government's check to survive. They didn't like that. So they're knocking them off left, right, and centre. Have been for years. But then to cover that bullshit up, oh, we have a sorry day. You know, day off where the country, everybody closes. It's a sorry day. Sorry for what? Oh, for what we did to the Aboriginal people, for example, and how we took their children away from them and whatever. Are they still doing it? Yes, they are. How the fuck sorry are they? It's all bullshit. It's all a farce. It's all bullshit. The only reason the odd person wins in fucking court is because they allow you to. Because obviously, if nobody won, you would wake up to the to the reality of, hang on a minute, you know, that's supposed to be there for justice or whatever. Why is nobody fucking winning when they go to court? So obviously, they have to allow some of them to go through for some victories because that helps. That helps because then you're going to go to the next door neighbor and you're going to go, oh, well, you know, I won and I sued so and so and I won and da da da. It's not there for that. And the way that you're going to prove that to yourself, for those people that haven't watched it, it's a 9-hour long video. Do not get the shorter versions. It's 9 hours long. David Wynn, spelt W-Y-N-N, Miller. David Wynn Miller. The video is on YouTube, 9 hours long. That was the biggest bitch slap that I ever got in my life, was watching that particular video. So if you've got 9 hours spare, rather than watch TV, rather than be on TikTok on your mobile phone, you don't need to go to TikTok to watch people do stupid things. All you have to do is just walk out your front door. But rather than do all of that, take 9 hours out of your life and go and watch that video of David Wynn Miller. Don't get the other versions. Check the time on it and make sure it's the 9-hour one. And you will see all about the legal system. If you want to do yourself one better, go and find some law papers. Go and find the Constitution and dig right into it. Hereof, therefore, Section 6A-5B of clause paragraph, your ears will bleed, your eyes will bleed. You will get a brain bleed, period. It's designed like that. It's not there to help you, people. It's not. It's not there to help anybody. Everything that we look at, for some odd reason, we've gone under the assumption that it's for our benefit. Just something simple. An aeroplane. You've got the hostesses, call them what you will, the stewardesses, hostesses, whatever you guys call them. They're on the plane. And really the only time that you have interaction with them is when they're bringing you around food, or when you want to get hammered and you ding the bell and they bring you the poison of your choice. They're not actually there to serve your ass. They are there in case you need to kiss your ass goodbye and the plane starts fucking going down. They are there to try to get you off the plane, to help you get off the plane. And yet most people look at that and they think, well, they're there to serve them food and drinks. No, that is not their initial original purpose. Everything that we look at, like I said, open air prisons. The jail is there. You look at that, you assume you're free. If you're on this side of the wall. But you're not. You're not. And this happens everywhere. You know what people need to do, seriously? Everything is pretty much hidden in front of our faces, okay? Because people are so caught up with the sports, the mobile phones, everybody's looking down, the TVs, the boxing, the fucking rugby, the football, the this, the that, the this show, the Kardashians' ass, how big is it this week? People are so consumed with that they're not really looking for things. I watched a video. This has gone some years back. I watched a video. And I don't know how this person actually found it. I can't remember fully the story of it as to how it was found, how they discovered it. But they videotaped. This is inside a hotel lobby. This one person, I don't know, I can't remember whether they knew. They must have known at that point because the camera followed them in. So I don't know whether somebody was actually blowing the whistle on this thing or what. I can't remember how that video came about. But in the lobby of the hotel, if you're just there to check in and whatever, you would never know that that particular wall or section of the wall opens up to a whole other area. The wall. Down in, once you go in past this wall, there is kitchens there. There is what could be living quarters. This is in a hotel lobby. How many people would have walked past that wall in the lifetime of that hotel and never even knew what was behind that wall? And that's why they always say the best place to hide something is right in front of your face. Because people don't look. People get focused on, fuck, I have to do the shopping. So what do? They jump in the car, they go to the shop, they grab the trolley, they're looking for shit, they're walking. Nobody looks around. Nobody takes the time to study different shit around them. Has anything changed? Have they moved anything? Is there anything different? How many times have I said to people, just go and sit at a big shopping centre. Get yourself comfy, get a drink, get something to munch on. Just sit there and watch. And you will be amazed at the things that you notice that you never noticed before. That's no different to social media. I've said it before. How many times? Listen, don't interact. Just sit and watch. Because when you interact, the minute you start interacting with something, you're focused on that. You're not focused on anything else. But if you sit back and just watch and listen, you will learn so much more. I'm not saying never interact, okay? Because obviously there are times where you'll go and you'll want to go into somebody's chat, or you'll want to go up on the panel because you don't want to be fucking typing in chat, whatever the reason. But when it comes to social media and mixing with people, don't always interact. Sometimes take the time, even if it's for 2 or 3 hours. That's what you want to do. Sit there and just watch and listen. Oh yeah, I just caught that. I just caught that gut. Yeah, and for God's sakes, don't fucking go out into the sun. You know, if you go out into the sun, that's where your body gets vitamin D, and you can't be doing that. All right, you can't be doing that. And for those that hang off every word that I say, that was sarcastic. That was a joke. Your body needs vitamin D, people. If you're in a place where there is sun outside, and you're in summer, you're in spring, go out there. Go out there. Somebody wants to tell you to lock yourself in your house, tell them to go fuck themselves. Go out there. Tan. Tanning is good for your body. Lots of vitamin D. You know, lots of motherfucking vitamin D. Pump some garlic into yourself. Every meal that you cook, throw garlic in there. Work on your immune system, if nothing else. Because what they fail to tell people, that the elderly that have died and that will die from this flu bullshit, from this fucking crap, they don't have an immune system. The doctors have put them on so many fucking statin drugs and this drug and that drug that their immune system is shot. By the time they're ending up getting a mega bad cold, what do you think's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen? If you're taking care of elderly folk, or you've got some pull or some say in wherever you work, and there's elderly people around, tell them to start pumping garlic into those people. You know, try and eat clean. Try and drink clean as best as you can. You know, as best as you can. But before I fuck off, because it's going to be 4 hours that I've been on. Jesus. God almighty, can I fucking talk? Oh, absolutely. Vitamin C too. Yes. Just assume responsibility, people. Like I said, you don't know how your words can affect somebody's life, how many years they're going to hang off that. Is it your word and a few other people's word that is going to send them over the edge? We don't know. We don't know because we all put up walls to protect ourselves. We don't know how that can affect somebody else. So all I'm asking is that everybody try and be a better person. It don't matter your religion, your belief, your politics, your whatever. Just try and be the best person that you can be. You don't have to like everybody, but you most certainly don't have to send hate out or wish anybody bad. If they've done something nasty that's hurt you, let the universe deal with it, because trust me, universal law is the ultimate. They may not get hurt in the first week, or karma might not come and slap them in the first week, but somewhere through life, karma, that universal law, will catch up with them. So you don't have to waste your time on hating somebody. You don't have to waste your time on anger. You don't have to waste your time on sending negative thoughts towards somebody, because that's already been documented. For every time we do something, it's been documented. I don't mean necessarily literally with paper and pencil, but it's been documented. And I truly believe there is some kind of a universal law, you know. I really do. So try and be the best person that you can be, regardless of, as I said, anybody's beliefs, each their own, whatever works, whatever gets people through the hard time, it's okay. You know, it's okay. If you praying this way gets you through, that's fine. If somebody else praying a different way gets them through, that's fine. Just know that we're all made up of the same thing. We're all flesh, blood, water, whatever is in our body. We all want the same thing. You know, we just want to be happy. We want to spend time with the family, want food on the table, want some water to drink. We all want the same things. So on that note, I'm going to love yous and leave yous. I'm going to fuck off like a fart in the wind. What else can I tell you, people? It was fun. I miss talking to you guys, but yeah, like I said, had my own shit. Oh, I didn't tell you. Well, some of you might know, but they ended up having to cut a piece of my jaw out, and apparently while they were trying to fucking remove this one root of a tooth, my jaw actually fractured. I didn't know that. I didn't know that until a couple of weeks ago, or a few weeks ago. I ended up going back, and they mentioned the fracture, and I'm like, what? So when they were actually pulling on it, it fractured my fucking jaw. And my daughter was laughing. She goes, Mum, no wonder you were in so much fucking pain. See what I mean? We're just fucking crazy. I mean, we can laugh about it later. And she was saying to me, she goes, oh, yeah, with the fractured jaw, she goes, your jaw, like, you know, that's why I didn't want you to move yada yada too much or whatever, because it could have, like, literally shifted. And I started laughing, and I'm going, well, it feels like it's all right. It seems like it's still in the right fucking place. So, you know, shit can't have been too bad. But yeah, a lot of the times it was mega hard, and trying to keep my teeth together and try and talk to you that way was just, yeah. I mean, I could sort of do it on panel or whatever, because it's not like I'm constantly talking. So hence is I'd jump on a panel because I'm not talking all the time. Other people are always talking and stuff, so it's just the odd thing that I would say. But to actually do a live stream, I had to wait. I thought I could only go like a couple of hours or whatever, but we've come this far. So yeah. And it's almost 12 o'clock, and I need to go and get some food because I haven't eaten yet. I always get carried away with these things and I forget to eat. Leslie, no, I'm all good in that section. I just didn't realize that then when they were yanking the fucker out, because it was stuck to my bone. I mean, like stuck. That my jaw actually fractured. And it wasn't until then that they realized they need to hack that shit out. And of course, they had to hack a part of my jaw out. But yeah, anyway, it was good talking to you people. It was good hanging out, whatever. And I'm sure I will see you through chats and other people's channels and whatever. And yeah, and we'll catch up then. And I don't know when I'll be back. Probably, I don't know. I don't like saying a few days or whatever, just in case shit starts to happen, because I still haven't caught up with all the paperwork side of things. Once that is out of the way, then I'm pretty much clear for a while. But I get sick of doing it all the time. You know, it gets to be just one major head fuck, and you think why. But anyway, I will eventually catch up with you guys on another live stream. And if I find some interesting shit out there that I can throw up in a video just to help people become more aware, I will do that. If it's the same old, if you don't see a video for some days or whatever, it's only because it's constantly the same, you know. It's flu this, flu that, flu this, flu that, vaccine, flu, mandatory, non. Do you know what I mean? So I figure there's no point putting up 50 million videos of the same thing. So yeah, whenever I find something interesting or whatever, I put it up. We have monthly. But everybody take care of yourselves. Be kind to one another. If you can't, at least don't send hate towards people. Be the best person that you can be. And I'll catch everybody next time round. Oh, and before I go, thanks to all those that came by. Thanks to those people, heaps that hung about to the very end. The ones that popped in and said hi and left, that's appreciated too. Bouncer, I just spotted the comment that you put up there. If you go and watch, what is it? There is 2 parts to it. What is it called? Is it blood donation? Oh, fuck, I even played it. I played it on D Live. It goes for an hour. It shows you what happens when people go to blood places and give blood, where it ends up, the type of people that go and give blood, why they actually go and give blood. What the fuck was it called? I know that I've got it. I've either got it in a video, I either mentioned it in a video, or I mentioned it on a live stream. And I can't even remember whether I actually watched it with you guys, because sometimes I'll try and incorporate that stuff into a live stream, so it kind of gets covered over with everything else, right? God, I can't fucking remember what it was called now. Was it blood donations? Was it something? Blood donation. It's a documentary. Mega fucking interesting. Mega interesting. If I find it, I'll dump it underneath this video in a comment or something or other, and I'll highlight the comment. But yeah. Anyway, on that note, people, I'm out. And thank you kindly, everybody, for coming by and hanging. I will see you all next time.